KHOW News Time, 10:03.
In the wake of a deadly hit-and-run accident near a school, Commerce City has approved placing speed bumps around all schools. 16-year-old Kara Kincaid was struck and killed while crossing 76th and Layden last Tuesday. The city says they're looking to improve traffic safety and are working with Adams County to prevent future incidents. Mayor Benjamin Huseman talked about the speed bumps.
This would actually be mid-block. It'll help to slow vehicles down, also provide another safer means for kids and their families to be able to cross the street to and from school.
He says they should be in place by the fall. Authorities continue to search for the red Dodge Magnum they say was driven by the hit-and-run suspect. Starbucks encouraging Coloradans to bring their own cup next time they stop by for a coffee drink. The company announced a new program that's available at nearly 200 Starbucks locations in the state. Those who bring their own cup will get 10 cents off their order. The company says it chose Colorado for the test program because customers in the state already like the idea of bringing their own cups to retailers. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Major drama on the south end of the Denver Metro, I-25 at University. We've got a crash in the median involving a box truck affecting traffic on both north and southbound roads. Northbound I-25 drivers will start seeing slow traffic back from I-225 with about 15 minutes of delayed driving. Southbound 25 drivers are going to see stopped-up traffic from Alameda with about 20 minutes of delayed driving through the scene. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, highs in the mid-70s this afternoon. Overnight low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 60 with chance of rain and snow. The current temperature in Denver is 58 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Who doesn't love to hear good stories? Stories that captivate your heart, stories that make you laugh, or perhaps stories that set the record straight. That's what we do at Red Pilled America. We tell stories. Join us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
Thinking about buying or selling real estate? Get free advice from Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
We offer free home market analysis and free home buyer consultations. Let our years of experience help you get what you want in the time you want. There simply is no substitute for drive, self-discipline, passion, and experience.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to use Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. With RE/MAX Alliance, 303-920-1622.
Looking to refresh your home this spring? Hi, this is David Nestor, owner of Urban Lights, Colorado's largest locally owned lighting company. Our 20,000 square foot showroom is brimming with all the latest styles for inside and out. And right now, during our spring sale, you'll get 40% off all lighting, ceiling fans, and home decor, and up to 70% off overstock and floor samples. Visit us today to meet with one of our lighting experts and find your perfect lights. Open 7 days a week, or visit us online at urbanlightsdenver.com.
Let your savings work harder for you with Belco's premier money market account. Visit belco.org for details.
Got the inflation blues?
Got those inflation blues.
Then you need Inflation Salvation. Up to 9 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Listen at 5 past the hour on 630 KHOW. Sponsored by Gyrese.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Gyrese loyalty program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Gyrese, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. We tend to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier, and we do it all for you. That's right. I want to tell you that this hour brought to you by Water Pros. They only have, I think they said, 3 systems or 4 systems left at the reduced price of $1,600 fully installed water softeners. Only 4 systems left. I think that's what he said. I have to look at my text again, but that is an incredible deal, one of the most incredible deals. So if you're looking, let's see, we only, 3 units left at $1,600 each. There's only 3 units available. So that's for whole house water softening at that price. Now, his regular price isn't that high either, but this is extraordinary at $1,600. Water Pros or paulthewaterman.com. Okay, let's talk and find out what's on your mind. We're talking about anything near and dear to your heart and pocketbook. We're starting out with Ian, and then we're going to recap some calls we've had in the past, and we've had a slurry of people just not doing the right thing. It's kind of pissing me off, but that's part of doing this show. You got good guys and you got bad guys. Ian, you have a rental dispute. What is going on in your life?
Well, long story short, April 3rd, we had a windstorm come through. I live in an apartment on the top floor.
You live on the top floor apartment, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what happened with this windstorm?
It ripped the roofing off, and then next day we got a little bit of water coming through. Fast forward nearly 2 weeks after telling the leasing office about it, nothing got done. And then...
How is it affecting your unit?
Well, saying right now the ceiling is bowing. It's completely damaged, and my apartment flooded.
Whoa, really? What are they... Well, did you have to move?
So they are looking to offer to move us to a new unit and then declined the offer and told us we had to call renters insurance to put us up at a hotel.
Well, if that's true, a lot of these places, for acts of God, they're not responsible for that, and they do require renters insurance. If they don't require renters insurance, you should have gotten it anyway. Did they require renters insurance when you moved in?
They did, and I do have it.
Yeah, that's who you go to. It's not their... Listen, I know you didn't want to hear that, but it really is not their fault. I mean, it would be different if they neglected the roof and it leaked or they did something wrong. But if a windstorm came through, they're a victim just like you are technically, and they can ask you to go to your renter's insurance. That's the first line of defense.
Why wouldn't you want to go through it?
Well, my hope was that just to make things easier for all of us, we could just relocate to a different unit temporarily, which is what was being discussed.
Yeah, of course. But they may not want to do that because they want to rent that out to someone else. They don't want to lose money, and they're thinking since it's not their fault, why should they lose money on this? I'm not, Ian, I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying this is what they're thinking. I know it is.
Right.
And they're saying, look, that's why we require renter's insurance. We want our renters to be protected because we're not going to cover it. Now, it wouldn't matter if you had renter's insurance if they did something wrong. You could go to your renter's insurance, and your renter's insurance could subrogate against the landlord, or what you do is go directly to the landlord. I would make that argument for you. Hey, give the guy a break. He rents from you. He can't rent the place. Give him a replacement unit. But it's not their fault. So they're going to say, listen, let him go to his renter's insurance. It's required by lease, and he's got it, and they'll put him up. And you probably don't. I mean, actually, being put up with renter's insurance might be better for you because a hotel or motel is furnished. You don't have to. If you go to a replacement unit, it's not going to be furnished. You're not going to have anything.
Right.
Tell me about your renter's insurance. Will they put you up?
Still pending investigation.
Well, hold on. What do you mean pending investigation?
Well, the last thing we heard from them was that they're going to send out an adjuster, but we have not heard back yet about whether or not they will actually put us up in a new hotel temporarily.
Well, they will. Is it part of your coverage?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, well, they will. And technically, they go retroactive as long as you have a place and it's not the Taj Mahal. Let me ask you this: who's your carrier for your renter's insurance?
They are called ePremium Insurance.
ePremium, and you do have temporary housing. You have liability. What else do you have?
Off the top of my head, it's the only two things I can think of. And of course, damages if there are damages.
Like in liability, if you damage the place or if you damage the place and do damage to others. When did you call them? And they said they would get back to you. When did you call them?
We spoke with them a couple of days ago, and we're waiting to hear.
When did they say you would hear from them?
1 to 2 business days, so I suspect I'll hear something today.
Let us know if you don't. I mean, they should not hang you out. And then you could have a bad faith thing going on, which would really, really wake them up if you mention those words. But don't pull out the big guns yet. Give it a few days and let us know. 303-713-TALK. Luis, what's going on with you? Hi, Luis. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Calling to get an advice from you for my friend Jose.
What happened with Jose, man?
He bought a 2010 Nissan Titan this past Saturday in a dealership in Castle Rock. I don't have the dealer's name.
A Nissan he bought in Castle Rock, and this is your friend Jose. Okay, so what went wrong with that?
So he paid $11,000 cash for that truck, gave him his receipt, his paperwork, and everything. This was on Saturday. Yesterday, he had a bunch of missed calls from the dealership. Now the guy that he made the deal with is claiming that he was missing $200.
Wait a minute.
Twice.
Wait a minute, Luis. Jose paid cash for this truck?
Yes, he did.
And he paid it in greenbacks, literally in greenbacks?
Yes.
I mean, he counted out how much in cash?
$11,000.
Oh, my God.
I received the money, counted it twice in front of him. And
that was for the entire purchase. There's no loan, right?
Yes,
it's $11,000.
No loan.
Now the guy calls him, says, I'm missing $200.
Yes. Now he's claiming that if Jose doesn't pay the $200, he's gonna put a hold on his title.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you something, Luis. Let me ask you something. Did this guy count the money in front of him?
Yes, and I guess another guy, a secretary or somebody, there was.
Do you think? I'm just curious. Do you think they'd go through all this trouble for an extra $200?
Well, I don't know. That's what I say. I mean, it seems to be way too much of a big deal for $200. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It does. It sounds so. It doesn't sound like they're lying, but at the same time, they could be. And does he have a receipt for $11,000? If he does, they're SOL.
So what would be your advice?
Well, does he have a receipt saying $11,000?
He's got to have the whole sales order.
Then I would say yes, but the sales order is not proof of receipt unless it says on the contract, receipt herein acknowledged, or he has to have a separate receipt, because what they usually put is down payment, right? And then signing that contract doesn't mean he made the down payment. It means it's expected.
I think this is crap. We just call over there.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
This is nuts.
We need a copy of his receipt and his buy order.
He should tell the guy, I gave you an extra $200.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, this is crazy, Luis. They can't just say they're missing $200. Like Mark said, what if they said they're missing $500? I mean, if he has a receipt, okay, we need to know the name of the dealer and all of that. Does Jose speak English?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Okay, well, ask him, and is he there with you?
No, not right now. I got away from him, but I'll be back with him probably within the next hour.
Luis, call us back with the dealership name, who he dealt with there, who's telling him he's missing the money, and find out in his paperwork if he has receipt for the cash. Not just a buy order, but on the buy order it has to say receipt acknowledged, or that he has a bill of sale or something showing that he put that down. And I'd say you call their bluff. They can't put a hold on anything, and we'll call them. I'd like to know who it is. So get back to us, please. Kachina Kalori is going to let you know how to get back to us. Luis, hang in there. She'll talk to you. 303-713-8255.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Denver area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 303-221-DADS. CordellCordell.com.
I want to talk to Joe Chiano, and you hear me talk about this investment opportunity, which is guaranteed in writing, and it's also guaranteed not to lose any money, and it's a true deal. In today's economy, people are looking for a financial plan that will get them ahead, not just someone who wants to invest their money and then say, sorry, you lost. The stock market's down. Let's talk about this, and something you may hear in investing. I don't know what this means. Purple cow financing. Joe, what does that mean? When would we hear that?
So actually, it's called Purple Cow Financial Planning. Now, Tom, when we drive along the highway and we see cows, what colors do you see the cows to be?
Usually black and white, or brown and white, or all brown, whatever. Yeah.
All right. So what if you were to see a purple cow amongst them?
I would
pay
think
attention to it.
I would think there's something weird.
Yeah. I mean, most people would say, "My gosh, something's weird." You know, we pay attention.
Or somebody slipped me something.
Right. So financial planning basically is basically the same way. You see, there's thousands of financial planners. They have thousands of products, thousands of ideas and strategies, but they're all the same, just like the cows. They're all the same. We decided 20 years ago to be that purple cow in financial planning. That means that we take care of the client's needs the way they are today. People want to save money. They want to make money. They don't want to lose any money. They don't want to have a 200-page financial plan that just lays on their desk forever without opening up. We promote strategies that will give them answers for today's economy. And this is really what Become the Banker is all about, Tom. And you know it. You know, there's a lot of benefits to it. You know, like they get a 15% bonus to transfer their retirement
and
account.
Guaranteed income for life.
Absolutely.
And a guarantee not to lose. Joe, I'm running out of time, but I want to tell people to go here. BecomeTheBanker.org to find out more. He just whet your appetite. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600.
Need to sell your home on your schedule? Lock in a guaranteed cash offer from Orchard and start the spring with a celebration. Here's how. Before...
It's a busy day for me.
I want to go kill myself.
Tax day, so. Tax day, Tom.
Oh, it is?
Oh, shit. You didn't
What
even
would
know.
you like to do on tax day?
Sit in Chicago. Deal with people bitching and moaning why they're not filing their taxes. I'm like, yeah, it's an extension. I have my, like, a link to the extension on the IRS website, like just logged into my computer, because I'm just replying to everybody. They're freaking out. They don't realize it's a piece of paper and it's automatic extension. Like, well, I'm screwed. I'm never going to get it done. My CPA is ignoring me. I just called them today with all their paperwork. Like, yeah, they're not going to get this done. You know, so file this piece of paper. Save me from having to charge you a bunch of money to reinstate your agreement. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just put out a bunch of fires for people to all do. I'm sure we'll get some of those calls today too.
I'm sure you will.
IRS.gov, automatic extension. Not hard. Did you get your taxes done, Tom?
Yeah, my guy, some of them had to be extended, but I mean, I paid everything.
Yeah.
But, and I've had, this year was horrendous for me because I had some losses. I mean, good for me. I mean, I had some losses. I have a big SUV I can deduct, the 6,000-pounder, and then I have, Mark, you get one on the Tesla, not a 6,000-pounder, but you get there's a 26.5, I think.
State.
No, not a credit. You get it right off for that, a luxury business. You have it under your business, right?
No, I don't think.
Okay. But anyway, so, and then I had, what else did I have? I had a bunch of stuff that came together for some credits and deductions that I don't normally have. Oh, a giant pension pay because I'm terminating my plan.
Okay. So I just paid out.
No, it didn't pay me. I paid in.
Oh, you paid in.
The last payment, a big one.
Okay.
But now I'm not going to have anything this year to put it. I don't have a qualified plan. Well, I have a 401k, but that's only 54 grand, I think, total.
Yeah, but you get the pensions already.
I mean, 54 contribution
Right.
with my employee and match comes to about 54, doesn't it? About that.
You can't deduct that anyway.
Huh?
That's not deductible. It's just tax-free.
No, my contribution is as an employee of my corporation.
Oh, of your own. Got you.
And then my corporation deducts the match.
You have
So,
your own 401k under your corporation.
yeah, because I'm a W-2.
Well done, sir. Look at you being
Plus,
businessman.
you know, I used to, yeah, but there's a lot you can do if you're an employee of your own thing.
Oh, yeah.
App on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Somebody asked me about a guy to write a trust just the other night. I think Joe was asking about one too, and I said, Dan McKenzie. True story. Yeah, I think Joe Chiano wanted to know about a good trust attorney. Joe Chiano.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And I said, Dan McKenzie's great. The McKenzie Law Firm. We love him. You know, we had to have Blake Harris years ago, and then he moved away, and he recommended the McKenzie Law Firm. And we started using Dan, and we love him, and he gives us advice on the show, and he can give you advice. He has a lot of creative ways to protect your assets and to get them ready for transition, to avoid probate, and do simple wills even, whatever you need. 833-CO-PLANS. He has that number from memory, but he is local. It's not some big conglomerate. 833-CO-PLANS. His website is coplans.co. Welcome to the show. And speaking of planning, today is tax day. I don't know if you understand that. There was a survey done that 3 out of 5 Americans don't know today is the deadline. Steve Sizik is with Larson Tax Relief. They help people in trouble with taxes. We had a guy call in the other day, Steve, and the reason we didn't call you, I'll tell you why, because we didn't need you, and I'll tell you why. He hadn't filed in 10 years. Listen to this. He gets a letter from the IRS. Do you know what they imputed to him for full and final settlement? 13 grand they want. And I said, do it. Now, Steve, this is what I want to ask you. Grab that mic, please. I want to ask you this. If they say, we imputed stuff to you, and they underestimate, sadly, can you settle for that 13 and they got to stick to it? Or can they come back later and say, you know, we underestimated? You know, because they wrote him a letter. He hadn't filed for 10 years. And he said in some of those years he made 80 grand. Or is he obligated to tell them, no, you underestimated? Good question.
Yeah, that's a gray area because it's definitely an ethical question more than it is an
Now, he didn't report
question.
anything,
right.
So he didn't lie.
Right.
But they wrote to him saying, here's what you owe.
Sure, and his obligation is it's a voluntary reporting requirement with the IRS. So his obligation, air quotes, is to report his income when he files his returns. If he didn't file and they went ahead and assessed against him, and then he pays the 13,
he can go
odds
on.
are, unless he gets audited at some future date, which is the IRS's, obligation.
But if he goes from here forward, he could be
They're not pursuing him in collections at that point.
I thought they could only go back 3 years, or that's just an audit.
No,
you can
for
only get
completed
refunded.
taxes.
Yeah, so
Mark, that's the whole thing. If you file, they can only go back a certain number of years.
Well, okay, but 10 years is period, end of story.
Yeah, 10 years is how far they can pursue on a collections debt. So if they
But hold on
assess
now.
you, then they
What
can
about a
pursue it for 10
non-filing?
years.
They can
With non-filing, they can go back. I think generally as far as they'd like.
See, Mark, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's a non-filing. It's not a payment issue. So if you didn't file for 20 years, I think they can go back 20. But I don't think they will.
Typically, they won't. What would trigger that is like a 1099 or something showing up where it would say, okay, this system doesn't line up with what's on our system, so we're going to file this against him or whatever it is. But usually those 1099s, either they're filed or they're not. And the IRS has to operate on what information they have.
All right, 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to McKenna. McKenna, what's happening? McKenna.
Hello, hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay, McKenna. It sounds like you're having some problems.
Some
What's going on with you?
So I am Currently, I was living with my ex-fiance, and we were going through a situation where we were both struggling with just depression.
Wait, so when you were living with him, he was your ex?
He is now my ex-fiance.
Okay, so you were living with your fiance, and you broke up, and now what?
So now I'm in my car, and I live in my car, and it's.
How long have you been living in your car?
It's been about a week now that I've been in my car. And
okay, so what's going on? What can we help you with?
So I just honestly, like I was going to say, I used to work for a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. Unfortunately, one of the clients sexually harassed me, and so I've been out of work for a while, and I'm just, now that I'm in this spot, I don't have anything. I'm struggling to get clothes and food and.
Now listen, did you, when you were with your fiance, did you have stuff in that apartment, clothes and all that?
Yes, I did.
You did not take them with you?
I did, and what I could take is in the back of my car. I unfortunately had to leave that situation because it became manipulative at home, and so I was advised to, get what I can and leave.
Was it abusive?
I would say mentally, yes.
So you escaped that situation with what you could, and now you're in need.
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
Right now, no, I don't. My job actually fired me because they didn't want to continue to pay me medical leave. So I'm in between jobs.
Wait a sec. Why were you fired?
Because my job didn't want to continue to pay me paid medical leave, and so they terminated me.
What was your medical leave for?
I was sexually harassed on the job by a client.
You were sexually harassed. How did that turn into medical leave?
Just because it qualifies as a worker's injury, because it's.
And then they fired you. How long were you on medical leave?
2 weeks. They paid me for one pay cycle.
And then, I guess, can they do that? I guess they can, huh? I mean, so what kind of work did you do, McKenna?
I was working at a drug and alcohol rehab.
Are you a counselor?
I was the behavioral health technician.
Behavioral health. What's your education? I'm trying to ask to see if we can get you some work.
My education level, I have a GED, so I'm, not very high up there.
So wait a minute. So you have a GED and you went to work as a technician for behavioral health. How do you get that? I'm just curious. How do you get that from just a graduate, a high school equivalency? How do you get into rehab as a behavioral technician? Were you trained on the job?
Yeah, they trained me on the job.
Okay. Do you have a heart for that kind of work? Do you like that kind of work?
I love helping people.
Well, it sounds to me, if you had somewhat of an abusive relationship, and it sounds to me like if you've done this work before, have you tried to apply at shelters or similar places to try to get in?
Yeah, and of course the resources are there, but they are full, or you know what I mean. There's certain things that I've actually been homeless one time before, and the resources are there, but they're not as available as they need to be for people.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm talking about get in. I don't mean get in for you to get help, but to work there.
Oh no, I actually I don't have a hard time finding a job. I am able to work and capable of working. I actually have an interview for
good.
This next week.
So what do you need? What do you need from us? Are you looking for a hand up?
I need to be able to transport myself from place to place.
Well, you said you're living in your car. Does it drive?
When there's gas in it, and also the battery is dying. It actually died on me the other day, and luckily someone was able to help me. But there's things that I just.
McKenna, I'm going to ask you some straight up questions because we help people. We have a theory here. We are helping people who help themselves, people who have not dropped off the cliff yet. And for those listening who say, well, Tom, you should help everyone, we can't. We can't. And we don't have the We don't have the faculties, facilities, or the resources to do that. We only can help people at this point who have a chance of making it. I hate to put it that way. There are other organizations that can help the down and out and desperate. So what I want to ask you is some questions. Are you into drugs and alcohol?
I'm not currently, no.
Okay, not currently. When was were you an addict, or are you an addict?
2 years ago. I have 2 years sober.
Clean from what?
Methamphetamine.
God, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I actually went to a Christian rehab and stayed for a year and completed the program.
So you have not touched meth in how long? 2 years?
Yes, 2 years.
Okay. So you'd be willing to do blood and alcohol test?
I'd be willing to do blood and alcohol
Or
test.
blood and urine, I meant. I'm sorry, yeah. So...
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay. And then you're out of work. If we called your ex or we called your job, would they say privately or candidly she was a drug addict, we had to let her go? Or are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the truth. I wouldn't call and ask for help if I
McKenna, listen, I don't know you. That's why I'm asking questions, okay?
Right.
You can't be offended. And by the way, we've had, I can't count how many addicts we've had call us for help, and they say the same exact thing. We wouldn't call if we blah, blah, blah. And as soon as we say we'll look into helping you and you have to do a blood and urine test, we never hear from them again. So what about a criminal background?
Well, as you can imagine or you've heard, when you do drugs, you probably will get arrested for it, and there's consequences. So, yes,
so do you have a... Okay,
record.
here's how we're going to start, McKenna, if you want our help.
Okay.
We need first a background check, and then after we do that, we're going to check your story out. And then after we do that, we may want a drug screen, maybe not, depending on your background. And then if you're clean, what we'll do is we'll try to get your car fixed up or get what you need to keep your car running, and then put the word out for a job. But it's one step at a time, McKenna. So hold on. Kachina, get her information, and let's start with the background check, okay? And I know it almost sounds harsh sometimes. That's because this world has no accountability and no responsibility nowadays. In fact, in Chicago, where all those teens were rioting, the Chicago DA and authorities are now blaming society for that. See, we're to blame for that. Because the youth that are rioting, smashing, grabbing, setting things on fire, they are underprivileged and have been slighted by society. So it is our fault. Now, mind you, if they were MAGA supporters, it would be sedition and an insurrection and a revolt against democracy. If it was Biden supporters, it would be for civil rights and justice. For kids, it's that they're underprivileged. So that's why whenever we try to help people and expect something in return, like that they actually do something with their life, it's almost unheard of nowadays. 303-713-8255.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Clearing up throughout the Denver Metro for the 10 o'clock hour. South of downtown, I-25 southbound crews are still dealing with a crash in the left lane involving a box truck. Stop-and-go traffic back from the Washington Street overpass, about 7 minutes of delayed driving for folks heading south of the downtown area. I-25 northbound back to highway speeds from one end of town to the other. Over on the east end, we've got a stall in the right lane, I-225 southbound approaching Colfax. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, highs in the mid-70s this afternoon, overnight low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, a high of 60 with chance of rain and snow. The current temperature in Denver is 65 degrees with your Impact Traffic and Weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. The FBI's targeting Catholics. NBA coaches are attacking the Second Amendment, and Bud Light is going woke.
Find out about all of this and more on Verdict with Ted Cruz.
Download it now, wherever you get your podcasts.
You need a water heater? You're in luck. We got the best water heater deals anywhere, bar none. Now, if you want a 40-gallon replacement, $12.99 fully installed with the old one taken out and hauled away. And that's a new supply line for water and gas. That's EuroplumbingColorado.net. The best deals. If you want a 50-gallon, it's $13.99. Let's say you want something even bigger and badder, even an instant water heater. You can do all of it, and they guarantee to beat the price of anyone. 303-668-6844. 303-668-6844. EuroplumbingColorado.net. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies is a sponsor of this show. I want to get that out of the way because I want to let you know this is a commercial, but I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't use them personally and haven't had phenomenal results. They babysit my estate planning, my retirement planning, my investments, and all of that, not to take control, but to advise me on what I need to do to have a secure future, including retirement. There's never an early age to start, never. It can be as early as you want, and it's never really too late. I urge you to check out Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies to see what they can do for you. They truly are wonderful people. rpcenter.com. They'll meet with you, no obligation, no cost. 970-663-3211. Find out what they have to offer. 970-663-3211.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Rajamanar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Slow drains lead to messy backups. Get help from Plumline Services. Just $93 or free. It's a plum crazy deal. If they can't clear your drains for just $93, the call is free. But you also get a complete diagnostic report. Or just call for a free second opinion on any drain estimate. From the people with faith and ethics, putting honesty first. Service at home, servants at heart. PlumlineServices.com. That's PlumlineServices.com.
When interest rates rise, it's not all bad. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, helping you understand why now is the time to purchase an annuity. Annuities are the only products that
is the Monkey's headquarters.
I really don't know how to summarize this call. And Suzanne has asked me to make it simple, stupid, but I don't know how to do it.
Which one? The stolen car?
Yeah.
That doesn't run?
No, she hung up.
Yeah, okay.
Your girlfriend is still an addict.
She's a runner. What do you want?
Just telling you. Oh.
Yeah, she's still screwed up.
About as best as I got.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
How about this?
I know it went to the second line. But
This goes out to that my girl. See you running from the world, girl, where you gonna hide? Oh yeah. You gonna leave it now, leave on.
Yeah, I know, because she's not clean. That happens every time. I know. Yeah. See, Mark, did you know that was going to happen?
I had a little hope about her, believe it or not. She didn't sound skitsy.
Right.
She sounded depressed, but not high.
See, they want money right away. And we have never done that, so I don't know why people believe.
Is that the Doobie Brothers? It keeps you running?
Nah, we've helped some people out that
Good morning.
turned out
Thank
to
you
be
so much
pretty
for calling
fucked
the
up.
Tom Martino Show.
We never
How can I
gave
help
money,
you?
though, did we?
bought a hotel room.
Oh, wait. The guy with the hat, right? That guy?
I remember that
The cowboy.
one. I remember him, too. Remember we found out he was staying. This was the best. He called up for money, and he was staying at, what was the name of that hotel, man?
This is my
Hi.
right.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Frank Duran, the real estate man, no one finer. And you can have him give you a complete analysis of your home and what it will sell for. The market's coming back. People have got over the sticker shock of interest rates. Frank Duran will do a complete analysis based on your neighborhood, your comps, supply and demand, interest rates, and let you know what it will sell for based on his selling strategies. And, of course, he has the best. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. No obligation, 303-920-1622, 920-1622. Let's go to the phones. Now, I'm sorry to say that woman off the air, when we offered to do the background check and then the urine and blood analysis, she hung up and said, no, thank you. Now, I am not saying we don't want to help people. I'm saying we do. But you have to be honest with us. Okay. 303-713-TALK. Paulie?
Thank you.
Paulie?
Yes, sir.
What's happening with you?
Oh, not too much. Hey, I was calling to let you know. One, I've called the show a few times, and I've got some advice from you. And the last thing I did was I called about using those online auto services.
You mean like online, like brokers, you mean?
Like Vroom or...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or something like that.
Yeah, or like buying a car online.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what can we do for you?
Well, you advised against it, and so I went, I did some research, and I found a place.
Now, hold on. I want to make this clear. Hold on. I did not advise against it. What I said was it's very risky, and you have to really know what you're doing, and you have to examine and inspect the cars, and don't do them sight unseen. And I also recommended local brokers. But go ahead. I just don't want people to think I'm against buying online all the time. So go ahead.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And so I found a place called Echo Park.
Yes. I know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I use them because, one, they have places all around the Denver area, and I'm in the Colorado Springs area right now, and they have one here too.
Sure.
And so I used them. I had some follow-up issues that they took care of. I just wanted to let you know they worked great.
You know, Echo Park, I've heard a lot of things, good and bad, about them. They have really good ratings, and they have too many reviews for them to be fake. What did you like about them? And I've heard good things about onlinecars.com, which is nothing more than an aggregate for individuals. I've heard good things about Vroom. I've heard bad things about Carvana. I heard good things and bad things about CarMax. I mean, there's all kinds. You know, it's a hit and miss, really. Do we know of any that are consistently bad, Mark? Consistently bad. I don't know of any that are, except for any dealer in Greeley or Longmont. Okay, so go ahead, and for some reason, they are all consistently bad. So, Paulie, Echo Park, tell me what you liked and what happened.
Oh, well, their customer service was great. I went in.
Did you buy a car, by the way?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I also used your service for SOS to come inspect the car.
He's no longer in business now. He retired.
Oh, that's too bad because that guy was amazing.
I know it.
That guy was great. And anyway, they held the car for me so it could get inspected. They let him take his 2 hours to do his thing. They took all day. They let me drive like 8-9 cars, and the guy didn't even care. He's like, yeah, whatever you want to do. He spent all day with me.
Wow.
And they just did. I mean, they went above and beyond what I would expect, you know, to do for a buyer. And so they did excellent. And now the problem I'm going to have, Tom, is unfortunately I'm leaving, fortunately, I'm leaving the Colorado area for the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. And since I use you guys for anything I do, I go to the referral.
You can help us. We can help you there. If you ever have a problem, we can help you there. As far as referrals, no, we don't have anybody in Oklahoma, but our people sometimes know people there. But if you ever get in trouble, you can always call us, or if you have a question before you get into something, we'd be happy to help you.
You know, Carvana, little side note here, they're in big financial trouble, so there's one I would not suggest.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. We did get a lot of complaints about them.
Carvana.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
what kind of thing are you talking about when you move? And why are you moving, man?
Well, Colorado, obviously, I've lived here my entire life, and it's you know, it's not the state it was 40 years ago.
You mean
Brendan.
California?
That's exactly it. So
Yeah.
I've seen all the changes. I'm 51, so I was here when it was just a different place, and so and then the cost of living is just
it's
out of control.
outrageous. It's outrageous.
Yeah. And I'm kind of done with snow. Not to mention you can't enjoy it.
Wait a
You
minute.
can't even get on the
Oklahoma? Come on. What do you think? There's no snow in Oklahoma?
There's not much snow in Tulsa. I lived there for years.
Is it warm?
It's warm. It's hot during the summer. There's very
what about
little
winter?
snow.
What about winter?
It can get cold, but there's some ice storms. Black ice is a big thing out there, but not a lot of snow at all, man. Very little snow.
Where's the closest we can go and get out of the winter? Arizona, right?
Well,
how about New Mexico? Isn't
Nevada.
parts of New Mexico you can have a nice, right?
You go to Grand Junction half the time and it's warmer than here.
Yeah.
So anyway, Paulie, do you have a job?
I'm a retired firefighter.
Ah, cool. So if you can't get a job, you can pose for a calendar or something.
Yeah. Well, that was a young man's game, Tom.
That's true. I could pose for a calendar. It would scare the hell out of people.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Truth with Lisa Booth podcast.
Hectic driving throughout the Denver metro as we get closer to that 11 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 southbound, we've got a crash in the center lane approaching Spear Boulevard with stopped-up traffic back from 58th, about 5 minutes of delayed driving into downtown. South of downtown, I-25 southbound, again, we've got a crash in the left lane at University Boulevard. Luckily, this one should be clearing up soon. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s this afternoon. Overnight low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 60 with chance of rain and snow, and highs in the 50s for the rest of the week. The current temperature is 65 degrees with your Impact Traffic and Weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Hey guys, it's Lisa Booth. Meet the sheriff who smacked down the media about gun control. Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods joins me on The Truth with Lisa Booth. And listen to The Truth with Lisa Booth on Mondays and Thursdays, but you can listen throughout the week on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, O'Brien Legal Services. That is a real estate firm. That is it's a legal firm, a lawyer who specializes in real estate issues. If you have a border dispute, eminent domain, easements, or you're negotiating a lease, maybe a big commercial lease, anything to do with buying property, you can review your documents, or you have any kind of problem with neighbors and it's a dispute over real estate, O'Brien Legal Services. When you think real estate, get some help. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388, 720-370-7388. Made in the Shade. You know what that is? That is a company that does window coverings. I love the name Made in the Shade because you are made in the shade when you deal with them for any window covering. Soft goods, hard goods, valances, drapes, curtains, or you can do the shades. They have cordless shades now. They have electric shades. They have even outside shutters, whatever you need. 720-458-6566. Here's how they work. They measure and estimate free. They even give you loaner shades while you're waiting for yours. They have a designer to help you pick the right stuff, and then they install it with their in-house team. Everything's guaranteed to the manufacturer, and their installation is guaranteed through them. Made in the Shade. Look for them at referralist.com or Google them, 720-458-6566.
You probably already know that
Hi,
Rosetta
Dan
Stone
Cicchini,
is one
Dunright
of the
Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Take your home like it is, and we'll help you make it like you want it. Been doing just that successfully for over 30 years now. 800-362-8370.
or even explore Swedish. And right now, you can get 40% off Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription. Visit rosettastone.com today to purchase once and learn for life. Rosetta Stone, how language is learned.
With everyone wanting more of your money, from eggs to gas to taxes, how do you keep more of what you've earned? Call 720-895-0500. Affordable Interest Mortgage, where we can show you how to pay less interest on your home, have access to your equity for 30 years, and be prepared for unexpected expenses or emergencies. The market has changed. You now have more buying authority whether you want to purchase with a rate in the 3s on a 3-2-1 buy-down or refinance and pay less interest to own your home faster with the Asset Manager Mortgage. Call Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500, where we've been serving Coloradans for over 20 years. Government agencies continue to raise the cost of financing, whether to purchase or refinance. Let us show you how not to pay these increased fees with loan programs designed to pay less interest and put you in control of your equity. If you want to purchase a home with the rates in the 3s or you want to have access to your equity, call Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. In these difficult times, you can still save. 720-895-0500. That's 720-895-0500. And MLS 298-191, regulated by DORA.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Windows and Doors. How about finally getting those old drafty windows and doors done right? Call us for details on our spectacular financing specials. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com to set up your rock-solid quote.
When you're selling your home, you want experience and the strategies employed by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
There's a good reason why my clients' homes sell for more money in faster time. I will share with you how my team and I help you time position and bracket your listing to help you reach peak value and not leave money on the table.
Dang it, I keep forgetting.
And he doesn't get caught in the first.
Sorry, you're hearing ads.
He doesn't get
I know he ends up going to jail.
Yeah, I know, but you got to see it. I'm in the 3rd season now, and I waited.
No, it's on the preview.
Okay.
It shows the previews. Apparently, he's in jail or prison. No, I liked it. I did like it. I thought it was cool. And I used to watch. That was one of the ones I'd watch literally on the treadmill.
Henry Winkler's so cool.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. He's nothing like Fonzie.
What a good
Not
actor.
at all.
Holy shit, is he a good actor. He's great.
Same with Ron Howard. You know what? Both of them coming out of Happy Days are incredible.
Yeah.
Neither of them were drug addicts.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've never liked a movie he directed.
Who, Fonzie? Or Howard?
No, Howard.
Oh, my God. There's
Howard's
so
done
many
so
movies
many.
I love.
I've
by
never
him.
liked him. He's done like
Holy shit.
20 movies.
He's done probably more than that.
Yeah, I've never liked him.
None of them. There's got to be one.
Well,
What
Jurassic.
are you
Did he do
talking
Jurassic
about?
Park?
I
Did
don't
he
think
do-
so.
Look at his movies. Whatever he did.
Dude, there's so many.
He's got his fingerprints on all sorts of stuff. I think he's won some Oscars.
Okay, here's one that definitely sucked. The Beatles, 8 days a week.
And Moby Dick.
Didn't see that one.
The Heart of the Sea, Inferno, Solo, Hillbilly, Elegy.
No.
13 Lives.
Ah.
These are all pretty new, though.
Yeah, I think he's
Nothing
got
good.
some other
Nothing
stuff.
good.
There's some like blockbusters he's done.
No, he's done some huge blockbusters.
Yeah.
But now I am struggling to remember.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, what I'm saying is find a good one. That's
What
all
is
I'm
Ron Howard's best movie? Ask the Tom Martino public.
Angels and Demons, The Dilemma,
Back-
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
He did Backdraft. That's great.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Dana, what is happening? You want to drop a dime on a slumlord. What's happening?
Yes, I've had the misfortune of renting with Atlas Real Estate in Colorado Springs.
Now, is Atlas the owner?
No, someone owns the house, but Atlas represents them. We have a property manager. Her name's Catherine Ryan.
And are you complaining about the home, or are you complaining about Atlas, or are you complaining about the landlord?
I don't even know who owns the property. We never have.
And Atlas is the management company?
Yes.
Okay, so what are they doing wrong?
Unfortunately, I'm having a really hard time well, they're just the epitome of a slumlord. If you look up the definition, maximize profit while minimizing maintenance.
Well, I call that smart. I don't necessarily call that slumlord, but obviously I know what you mean. That's tongue-in-cheek. Meaning that all they care about is profit and not the peaceful, quiet enjoyment of the premises, right?
Exactly.
Give me an idea. Give me an idea.
Months ago about some solar panel recently we have had. I mean, the house is falling apart anyway, but we all who live in this certain home know better than to complain because it's just pointless.
Well, tell me they're doing wrong? I need to know.
They are just like blatantly disregarding our health and our safety.
Give me okay. Give me specifics, dear.
On Easter Sunday, we had a leak, a Cat 3 situation in our basement.
What happened? What happened? You had a leak from the sewer?
All of our pipes started banging in the middle of the night and sounded like the house was going to fall down, and we went down to the basement and it was raining feces and the sewer
Okay,
pipes
so something happened and your sewer line broke, right?
Yes.
Okay, on
yes.
Easter. Where? In the basement only? Well, I don't mean only.
Well, the first floor apartments had it coming up through their tubs and their sinks and their toilets.
Ooh, hold on. We'll come back to this. Now,
floor.
that's kind of an emergency they have to take care of immediately. Hold on, and we'll talk about this. Whatever your problems are, we'll get to you, I promise. We also have Larson Tax Relief. We have a lot of questions for them. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Real crappy.
Oh, come on. Do better than that.
Hey, it's Robin for my friend.
We had a case with that last fall in Boulder.
Same guys.
You're listening online. Very sorry that you heard Kelly use
in Boulder.
Inappropriate language.
This one is in the Springs, right?
No, but
I did not. I just said get your phones under control.
Boulder.
There was a FNS
Colorado
stuff and whatever.
I'm having a bad day.
I saw that.
As New Yorkers say, I got to get my battery.
Are we on Vox? Please take us off Vox.
You know, New York people, everything.
Oh, yeah.
My battery.
One of the best moments in Apollo
Saturday
13.
Are we on Vox? Are we on Vox?
No.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Houston, go ahead. Remember that part?
Can you please take us?
Okay, you're off. I'm on because I deserve to be on. You remember that scene? That is so good. God, Hanks. Were there? Yeah. No. Houston, go ahead. They're talking about how they're going to die and they need to eat each other or some crap. And,
I still can't believe I could not hear Michael and I just freaking hung up on him.
Well, it's about time. That's okay. That's what Ray Nagin did to him.
Well, it's frustrating.
Mr. Mayor, we're going to need you to... Hello?
I mean, at least
Hello?
he had a good sense of humor about it. He was laughing.
Hey, review this one and make sure it's
I had to say, I would hang up on you in person, but not actually on the phone.
So it's a lot of...
I'm sure you guys have played
looks good to me, I guess. Hedging language, that kind of stuff. So.
But not
if I don't respond because my clients love procrastination, that's my problem. So I'm just chasing my tail today. It's just, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I said. I don't have to jump on the phone and try to do any appeals hearings or anything. It's just talking people off the ledge. I've actually been roped into doing a lot of this with my law firm. I'm doing a lot of expert witness testimony recently. I just kind of fell backwards into this stuff, divorce cases and stuff. Where's the guy hiding the money? Why did you? It's kind of easy because it's taxes, cool. Right? Yeah, it's I have that it's sort of
unless you're lying on taxes.
Oh yeah, well I can find if they can do that. They're doing that too, right? So yeah, it's sort of fell backwards into it. It's an interesting expansion of my scope a little bit.
Okay, you're a little bit all over the place for me right now, so you just, you're
California just raised the shoplifting limit in California because of inflation to $2,000.
To be a felony or something?
You can steal up to $2,000.
Okay, let's start with your name. What's your name?
I think in Colorado it's $15
inflation. Isn't that nice
for a misdemeanor.
Isn't that nice of them? They raised it to $2,000 for the thieves. You can steal 2,000 now, not just one.
That's got to be for a felony.
No,
misdemeanor.
It's not a crime. Mark, it's not a crime. They walk out.
It might be decriminalized.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's technically decriminalized.
Well, they don't get arrested.
They don't do anything.
No one gets arrested, even in Colorado. You can go right now to King
misdemeanor
Soopers.
theft under the tax code, or not tax code, the law. At least when I learned
But
it,
no one
it was like
gets
$50
arrested.
or something.
No one gets arrested now. In
Like-
Colorado, $1,000. Well, actually, in Colorado, we've had people every night. They go to King Soopers, they go to Walmart, they go everywhere with whatever they want. Home Depot. No one is allowed to stop you for shoplifting, nor are they allowed to call the cops.
Can't stop you. You're like, I'm taking
there it
this.
is.
I'm not paying for it. I assume that you can, like, there's got to be some enforcement, right?
There's none.
Like, okay, you can just
You think I'm kidding?
I do. It doesn't make any sense.
Steve, I'm not kidding.
It's just society governing
I'm not
itself
kidding.
anymore.
You just.
That's crazy. Because I remember, I mean, granted, I went to law school, I graduated like 03 or 06, but like at the time it was like $50. Like it was like, you know, you shoplift, you go steal a lighter from a gas station, they can prosecute you, misdemeanor theft.
So my family had a restaurant.
There's no prosecution in Colorado or California.
What restaurant?
A place called the Colorado Wine Company.
Oh yeah, I know that. Place.
Anymore. Driving through
Elvis
there
came
was
in
a
for
mess.
PB&J's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the people that my family ended up being close with was Davy Jones.
Some sort of enforcement.
And he and my uncle would screwed around together for years. And I ran into him in New York. He was stumbling out of a bar as I was walking by, and he ran into me. And I said, "Mr. Jones?" To which my wife at the time was like, "Who?" She says to me later, I'm thinking to myself, "Who the fuck do you know at midnight in Hell's
Misdemeanor
Kitchen?"
theft.
Oh yeah,
Stolen
a monkey.
goods that are worth
Of
more
course
than
that's
50, but less than 2.
But
Doesn't
so I said,
matter.
I believe you know my uncle.
Now, whether
You don't
they
know me.
prosecute
I
or
was
not,
around him a little as a kid.
That's where that 2000
I think you know my uncle Buck Scott.
Everything over
Oh my
2000
God, your
felony. Used
uncle
to be,
tried
I
to
think,
kill
a lot
me
less.
so many times.
6 months in jail.
I guess they'd go screw around in Catalina, and my uncle would get a little drunk and crazy.
Maximum for that.
But so it was neat, and I mean,
It's on the.
obviously
it's on
they
the code
meant a
now.
lot to
You're
me.
right, I don't know.
The Beatles seemed too distant. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a kid, it seemed like a weird British institution. These guys seemed like fun and real close to us as kids, especially when he appeared on radio.
What's going on out there?
You know what?
I don't.
All of these
That's
policies
right, yeah.
are imploding on politicians. The lenient.
Hey, Marty wanted me to ask you, what part of Michigan?
Yeah, it's a pendulum, right?
Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except
I
I
would
don't
go
see
the
the
other
pendulum.
way.
I don't
South
ever
of
see the
Michigan.
pendulum coming back.
No?
It's too far gone. I
Ask
don't.
Shannon.
I think that our country is forever liberal and getting more liberal.
Yeah, Dad worked at River Rouge Ford plant.
And I
forever,
think
building
we're going to be
Mustangs.
communists before long.
Grandma was
We're
at
going back to the
Union.
70s.
From
Yep.
each according
Born sort
to
of
their
raised. I mean, I left
ability.
as a kid,
To
but
each
spent every
according
summer
to
and
their
a few
needs.
winters back until I was 24.
You are an old man. Get off my lawn right now.
No, no, I'm not. But I'm saying, do you believe it?
Remember,
From each according-
I might be
look at
wrong.
the history, like the hippies were taking over the country. We were all turning into communists back in the 70s.
Oh, that's
Lest we forget. Lest
You're
we
saying
forget.
I sound just like
McCarthy or something.
Okay.
It's a generational thing. The
you
younger
know,
generation is always gonna do it. Is always gonna do something
I
wrong.
spent a lot of
I
time
agree
up
that
here.
it becomes
Family's
ever
still
more
up.
liberal because of the
Just a couple
the
years.
global
No,
nature of
just
our
below that, about
society.
75 miles
No.
south of the UP.
Now,
Yep.
they don't need to be letting people just
Fantastic.
riot in Chicago. Chicago has had issues for a long time. I mean, going back, to the Obama era, Chicago was having issues with crime and all the murder rates and all the rest. So it's not like it's a new issue up there. They need to do something with like downtown Denver. Why is it like tent cities down here and like our city's doing total crap?
27 seconds.
And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by 888heating.com for heating and air. And right now, if you're thinking about your heating and air, you can think 888heating.com for replacement, and you get a whole house air quality system for one penny. Also, any repairs, you can depend on them. We've known them for years. 303-770-2776. 770-2776. Welcome. Let's talk. We have a number of calls we want to get right to. We also have Larson Tax Relief. A quick question for Larson Tax Relief. They help people with tax problems, audits, collections, when they're at wit's ends. And what I'd like to ask, when can you shred?
Good question.
That's somebody asked, and I don't think they're talking about snowboarding.
Well, yes, you can do that anytime in the winter. But as far as an audit is concerned, the IRS technically can go back 10 years.
Okay.
But good policy, and typically even CPAs are able to go ahead and shred after 5, just because it's a document retention issue. So I would usually say an individual, if you've got a basement full of stuff going back a decade, you're probably okay to get rid of up to about
10 years old.
ago.
They can go back 10 years.
They can go back 10, but typically they only audit back 3. If they expand the audit is when they can then go back further.
All right. 303-713-TALK. Now, I want to take this follow-up with Pat. Pat, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I called back in January, December, January, about solar panel company that went out of business.
Yeah, Pat. What was the issue? I'm trying to find the call, and what was the name of the company?
The name of the company that went out of business was Phoenix Solar.
Phoenix.
And you referred me to a Mark Kunkel with ProBid.
Yes, Mark Kunkel. I said they're doing systems now, and perhaps they would look at your system.
They did, and they did a great job. They even upgraded me to a couple more solar panels on there so that I could get just about a zero energy bill.
You know what? You called here's your call, January 10th. Bought Empire Solar System from Phoenix Sales in 2018. 2 panels went out, and the original company went out of business. And I told you to call Mark. And you know what? I am so happy to hear that. So what's the name of Mark's company is ProBid, right?
Right.
That's a weird name for a solar company. ProBid.
ProBid Energy.
Energy. Okay, well, that makes sense now. I love, I know Mark personally. That's why I recommended that. I don't know the company. And the reason I say that is I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying I don't know them, but I know him to be an honorable person. And I hear this company does a great job, and I am so happy that they did a great job for you. And was it reasonably priced?
Yes, reasonably priced. And they came out, and when they first put the other panels on, a couple of the inverters weren't working. He went out and found some other ones to put them back in and get them working. So it came up online.
Now you have a new company that you can refer people to for dependable solar.
Oh yeah, we told Mark that already.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for letting us know, and I'm going to thank Mark for doing that. That's great news. ProBid Energy. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you, man, the solar business is riddled with clowns. Really. Sabine, welcome to the show, Sabine. What's happening?
Yeah, hello. I have a billing issue with a pharmacy. So
what kind of a billing issue? What kind of a billing issue?
Well, they're billing me, and I don't want to pay it because before I went ahead to get the medication, I called my insurance company, and I called them, and they said that I was covered at 100%, and that all I would have to do is pay $35 for each time I had to go in the office to receive the medication.
Now, who's your health coverage with?
United Healthcare.
Okay, and what is the medication?
Gelatin 3.
What is it?
It's for your knees. Like if you're having issues with your knees.
Is that like that stuff they make from the Roosters thing? Is it the injection of that gel stuff?
You know, I don't know where they source it from, but it's an injection that goes into your knee, and it's just supposed to help.
More than one did you have to have?
I had 3.
Okay.
3 office visits.
Okay, and when you went in, they have the medicine. They supply the medicine right there, right?
No. So what happened was my doctor, his office manager, had to call the pharmacy company and order it. And she spoke to 3 different representatives there, confirming it was covered at 100% and that all I would have to pay is that $35 copay.
Right.
And they had to put me on the phone to get my permission. And so they said the same thing to me, and I gave him the permission to send it there because he had to administer it.
Right, I get it. So the doctor ordered it, and then you gave permission, and were under the understanding that you just paid your copay. What did it turn out to be?
It's it's $214.15.
Wait, each time you had
each
time you had to pay 204. They billed you 214.
No, it's not each time. It's just what they're saying is due. Period.
Okay, for 3 shots.
For 3 different times, I had to go in there and they spread it out. The doctor, they spread it out.
No, I get it, but all 3 injections, the medicine alone was $214.
And 15 cents. Yep.
Well, that doesn't sound outrageous, but you thought it was going to be around $100.
No. What I was told by my insurance company and by the specialty pharmacy was that all I had to pay was a $35 visit. So in other words, every time I had to go in, I had to pay $35 copay for that visit. And I have documentation.
Okay, I get it. You didn't think you had to pay for the drug at all.
Right, because I just would have bypassed it at that point. I would have just said, never mind.
This is going to be weird. Because you are ultimately responsible for that. And you probably saw. What is the doctor saying about this? The doctor was there when you heard this. What did the doctor say? That he or she should be on your side?
They are. So the doctor was not the one that called up. The person that actually spoke to them to get permission for the medication to come was the office manager. And she already wrote out a letter because I was like, when all this happened and they sent me a bill months later, I was like, am I the crazy one? Because
right, I get it. So did the doctor help you?
I have a letter from them. I have a letter from her saying what happened when she spoke to them.
Okay, so the doctor says she spoke to them and was told it was 100%.
No, the doctor doesn't say anything. The office manager is the one that spoke directly.
Okay, so the office manager says that she was told it's covered 100%.
Except for the copay of $35
no, I get it.
per visit, correct.
That's what
Yes.
the office manager will testify. I'm not saying she has to, but that's what she's saying. And then the pharmacy, what are they saying? Are they denying they ever said that?
Yeah, so, but the thing is, they had to send the doctor's office a document saying benefits investigation summary. And in there, where it says additional notes, it says in there, patient is subject to a copay of up to $35 for each instance of the gelatin. They name the drug billed and cover it at 100% of the allowable. And then they talk about a procedure code is covered at 100%, and so on. And again, it says the patient has $35 copay whether or not in an office visit is billed. So this paper is from the pharmacy, and I do have a letter from her too. So I did.
Are they trying? How are they trying to collect it from you right now?
Well, they're calling me and they're saying they're going to send me to a collection agency and all this other stuff. But before all that, I talked to one of the ladies there at billing March 31st. And I told her what the deal was, and I told her, well, look, I have the documentation from you guys, the benefit, and I have a letter.
Wait a minute. So wait, the pharmacy itself, you have documentation from the pharmacy itself saying it's covered 100%.
Right, it's called benefits investigation.
I get it.
Summary,
and then you have
yeah.
And then you have a note from the office manager saying she heard it was covered 100%. So what I you know what I would do if it was me? I would tell the pharmacy, pound salt, take me to court if you have to. I'm ready. And then that's your evidence. My God, even if they send you to collections, remember, collections is not a magic word. It's an accusation. And then they take you to court and you show up. Sometimes you just have to do it. You show up with that stuff and say, here, why are we here? I don't see how you lose. 303-713-TALK.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text safeguard to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
You know, in this world of uncertainty when it comes to contractors and especially roofers, you better be real careful when you hire a roofer. I recommend Excel Roofing. Excel Roofing has been around 30 years. They'll be around 30 more. The son is taking over, and I know them both, Jay and Henry. And I'll tell you what a great job. They don't take a cent until you're content, not a penny up front. They never make you sign a contract for them to look at your roof and give you a full, complete estimate. Never. And then when you do get an estimate, you'll know exactly what you need because they spell out each and every detail. They'll even talk to your insurance company for you. And they have a complete repair division. And they clean gutters for people, especially seniors, at extreme discounts. Find out more, excelroofing.com. Excel as in excellent, EX. CEL 303-761-6400 303-761-6400. Hey, you heard me talk about Euro Plumbing and the great water heater deals. That's right. You get the best water heater deals anywhere. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. A 40-gallon tank for just $12.99. You don't beat it. You can't even do it yourself for that. That's with the old one taken out. That's up to code, and that's new supply lines for the water and the gas. And if you want to go 50 gallons, it's just $13.99. No matter what size you need, they'll do it, and they'll do it cheaper than anyone. They'll even beat the price for instant water heaters. 303-668-6844, 668-6844, EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Now, the same can be said with window coverings. It doesn't pay to do it on your own. By the time you measure, first of all, most people don't measure correctly, and then you get the stuff, and then you try to install the stuff. What, are you kidding me? You can get Made in the Shade to do all of that. Any window covering. You can do shades and cordless shades. You can do shutters, outside shutters, electric shutters. You can do curtains, valances, drapes, whatever you need, they have. They'll measure free, estimate free. They have design help free. Then when they order the stuff, they will install it with their in-house team and guarantee it. That's Made in the Shade. You don't do any better. 720-458-6566, 720-458-6566.
The roller coaster stock market.
It's called a spring game. Yeah. Scrimmage. Mm-hmm. But they've sold out the stadium. 47,000 seats for this thing? Good golly.
Troy Hansford. He sells more houses than
You either got
anybody
to
in
be
the
kind of
world.
committed as a alum or whatever. You know.
Well, I mean, I can't say much because my husband went to Nebraska, so I mean.
It's big.
If you say something confident.
Oh, every year it's sold out in Nebraska.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like
This is the first time ever for CU, so we'll take it.
Right.
Quite a nut.
But I don't. Oh, it's Steve. Doesn't matter how much you yell at me. But.
I'm telling you, I absolutely hate these unsubscribes don't work. I just keep.
They don't.
I know.
They don't work. I don't even know why you even press it.
Because they basically just tell them, hey, he's real.
Yeah.
Let's
He's
double
a real
him up.
person. Yeah. It just, it authorizes them to. Damn city.
Come on, Bonnie, for God's sakes, you took so much fucking time off. Why aren't you in school?
They play golf together a lot, and so they were trying to put sports together, and so I was like, it would be really cool if you got Dan Caplis and Albert Williams, you know?
Is he driving now?
Yeah. His Tesla.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Motherfucker.
You got him that Tesla.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what.
Where you're going out?
They dropped the fucking price big
They
time.
did. They did.
I could have saved so much fucking money. I could have saved 20 grand.
Lawsuit.
No, that's just bullshit. They dropped it on yours too.
Yeah.
Very little, but yes, they sure did. At first, they didn't.
It was like that too. It was like the next week. It was crazy. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they didn't drop the Model S until about a month ago, but it took a hit too.
Elon doesn't care.
But I missed 3 price increases, so it's about the same.
The drink cart.
But the
girl
Model
was
3 took
right
a
there
big
as we
hit.
drove by.
I mean, talk about just the value of your.
And I
those
said,
things are
"It is
carrying their value.
one of the worst jobs on the planet.
Usually a car doesn't
Sort
have
of,
value.
except that.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're here with Larson Tax Relief, and they have they deal with people who have tax problems, and somebody wants to know the threshold of contacting you. What is your typical customer, and when does it pay to contact you? Because there are charges for what you guys do. You do a great job. I've heard of some fantastic results. I've heard of great results. Not everyone can pay, $10 on a $40,000 debt. I mean, there are truly some offers and compromise that can be done. I think a lot of places mislead people.
Yeah, you got to be, cautious.
And the money up
too good to be true type of situation.
So what I want to know is, what's a typical customer?
We don't like to set a price limit on it per se. A lot of it's brain damage. Do you want to sit on 4 hours on hold with the IRS, to deal with whatever it is? Maybe it's just filing your return properly so you don't get penalized $5,000.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't owe anything right now, but you've got an issue that's driving you insane.
So cases there at Larson can range in fees from what to what?
Yeah, I mean we can have. I have clients that owe $10,000 and some that owe $10 million. It just depends on necessarily what the complexity of the case is. I have some clients that
obviously
owe nothing,
the less you do,
they're paying me to deal with just logistical issues.
Right, but the less you do, the less you charge. Right? There's not a flat fee.
No, we don't do flat fees. It's based upon the complexity of the case, the significance
and you give
of the
all
case.
your prices up front.
We do.
Okay,
we do.
good.
Absolutely.
844 Larson Tax. That's 844 Larson Tax. Now, yesterday, I started working on updating Sleaze Brigade. Oh my God, Mark, I did not realize how many people that we have for Sleaze Brigade that I keep saying I'm going to put up.
Did you get that hot tub company on there?
No, but that's one of them. No, that's one of them. So here's one. I mean, these are places that I had forgotten about. How about, this goes way back to January. Hoffman Weber, Nick Hoffman, $70,000 on a roof fixed improperly. The roof supplier said the job was done bad, wrong screws, and guess what? Hoffman will do nothing. Hoffman will do nothing. Their number, 720-310-2729. His cell number is 720-985-8163. Hoffman Weber. Now, here's why I mention the numbers. Not so you're vulgar, but so you can say, I heard about you on the Tom Martino show, and I'm going to let everyone know. This guy took $70,000 and crapped the job. $70,000 will do nothing to fix it. Now, This is terrible. And as roofers will be needed this season, remember them and avoid them. Okay? That's Hoffman Weber. Let's keep going. We have another one, Jane of All Trades. Now, I did get her up on the referral list. We've had 3 or 4 victims contact
Sleeves
us.
Brigade.
I'm sorry. Yes, the Sleeves Brigade. The Sleeves Brigade is the exact antithesis of referralists. Referralists are great people. Sleeves Brigade, the worst of the worst of the worst. By the way, give us a call. I have the lines open, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So Jane of All Trades, listen to this, took $100,000 from a person, $100,000, and did nothing. $100,000. Now, that's just one of the many problems we have from Jane, Jayne, of All Trades. And that I think her name is Erica Jane. It's on Sleeves Brigade. Look it up. She's on the front page today. Now, another Sleeves Brigade, Choppers Fencing. Eddie Farnsworth. Well, good old Eddie Farnsworth. Takes deposits. He doesn't do the work. That's Choppers Fencing. His number, 720-909-2909. Choppers Fencing. Now, let's take another one. Guess what? All American Transmission. Vacant, Mark. He's gone. Did you know that? We had a guy call in, and he skipped out on some warrants. Did not show up.
Old Jeff Jolliffe?
Yep. He's on the lam, as they say. On the lam. So there's no reason giving his number out.
He had a very unique way of handling warranty problems.
The only number he's going to have is on his prison jumpsuit right now, so he doesn't have one. But let's give you another one. Pure Precision Mechanical. $3,500 up front. He showed up with the wrong furnace. Remember him? Anthony Carroll, 720-751-7592.
Not only that, he showed up with a completely wrong furnace, then took the new furnace back and left her with nothing, and she was missing her original furnace that he couldn't repair that someone else probably could have.
I know. So basically, that guy left her high and dry. And he left her with nothing. I took the furnace. I'm going to make that note.
He said on his website or on something, Facebook, I don't remember, he said he was also a master plumber. I have doubts about that, but I don't know.
Anthony Carroll, 720-751-7592. Listen, people, I want to talk to you on a serious note. You really can make a difference if you let people know you heard about them and say, we're going to tell everybody we know. These are liars and thieves and ripoffs. I'm not just whistling Dixie here, although I could. Isn't that Dixie? Anyway, so here's the deal. Robert and Christina were victims of a GMC from Booth Motors. Booth Motors, guess where, Mark?
Thornton. Greeley.
The next one, Longmont.
Yep.
Refunded her a portion of the money for an extended warranty because the claim was denied. Supposedly, O'Mara Ford reported the O2 sensor looked like it had been tampered with, but Booth Motors basically took money for an extended warranty and they got nothing for it. That's Booth Motors in Longmont. And Longmont and Greeley are the two capitals of the bad car dealers, the two capitals. Next one. Maryland was a victim of Flight Heating and Air. Used to be known as Fly By Night, but now it's Flight Heating and Air. Michael. The guy, Linda, put down $2,000 for an HVAC. And guess what? He took off. So got nothing again. Imagine this. Imagine this. I mean, can you believe this? Well, then she paid another $2,000 because he said he needed more money. That is, I don't have a number for Flight, Heating, and Air, and Michael. We'll have to look that up. I did have a number because I called him, and there's a note here that said I called him. Let's keep going here because I'm not done with these sleaze mofos. How about this? Am I allowed to say mofo, by the way? Okay, good. That's short for very bad people. Anyway, how about Iris Apartments? She lives on the bottom floor, and poop is coming through the ceiling and the fixtures. They just claim it's normal that fixtures take a dump, I guess, because they refuse to help her. That's Iris Apartments. Should be called Orifice Apartments. They got the name wrong. Their number is 303-421-2962. Did you have enough? No, there's more. These are the ones I haven't gotten up yet on the Sleaze Brigade. I got my work cut out for me. And then Mark's favorite, Mountain Mist Spas in Longmont. Now, by the way, I got to make sure this is not the one in Fort Collins. They're two separate companies. This is the one in Longmont. A circuit board went bad. He complained to us because he wasn't getting a replacement. And they said, screw him. We're not doing the warranty work because we don't like that he called you. And that was the scumbag Tyler Smith, who owns the place or runs it. 303-772-1125. 303-772-1125. That is John. John was the victim, and that was Mountain Mist. Mountain Mist Pool and Spa in Longmont. Again, in Longmont. Longmont's a haven for liars, cheats, and ripoffs. I don't know if there's a sign. Come to Longmont, rip our people off. Maybe there is. What about this? A Cadillac XT4 was in a collision. She takes it to a place, and this place, what was the name of it here? Well, wait a minute. Oh, Lakewood Collision. Lakewood Collision. She paid $4,000 up front. He was supposed to be done in September. Still not done. Total credit card charges were made in addition to that. I'm telling you, they're sleazy. So she got credit card bills where they keep the son is using her credit card. That's Lakewood Collision. That's what you got to look forward to when you use Lakewood Collision. And you can look that up in the phone book if you want to call them. There is no phone book. Look them up. What do I mean phone book? I sound like an old fart. How about this one? All-American Mobile Detailing. Now, All-American Detailing, they're liars, cheats, and ripoffs. They're an aggregate. They gather leads and give them out to schlocks who call themselves detailers in all these cities. All-American Mobile Detailing, do not use them. 877-522-8160. 877-522-8160. Here's another number. 407-216-5136. They are the worst. The worst. And boy, I have so many, I don't know if I can keep going. What about Madrid Group? Madrid Group. They're roofers. She paid them. They did nothing. She wants a refund. They also damaged her house to boot. Madrid Roofing. So it gets really sad here. Professional Restoration. Remember that one? The water heater broke, flooded the main living area. They put down Cortex flooring the wrong way, according to our expert. They refuse to fix it the right way. They suck. Professional Restoration. Absolutely the worst. Professional Restoration. And we have so many bad things to say about them, it would take the whole show. Don't use them. And then we have Lark Ridge Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, paid twice, once from insurance, once from the consumer, and refuses to refund the overage. They say it's their management company they have nothing to do with. Well, what are you kidding me? Then there's Crystal Transport, or We Do It All Construction. Took $15,000 by wire to move a mobile home and never, ever heard from him again. His name is Alfonso Radarte. Alfonso Radarte. By the way, I need his number because you called him. I need those numbers for the Sleaze Brigade. I put the numbers on Sleaze Brigade. Listen, people, there are more, but I don't want to depress you too much.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Download the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
We're back to calm driving throughout the Denver Metro for the 11 o'clock hour. I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds into and out of downtown for the first time all morning. Up on the northeast end, I-270 westbound, some regular slowdowns approaching Vasquez. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. South of DIA, I-225 north and southbound, it's an easy drive through Aurora and DTC. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies today, highs in the mid-70s, another warm one. Tomorrow, high of 60 degrees, but we are seeing a chance of rain and snow, and then highs in the 50s for the rest of the week. The current temperature in Denver is 70 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Harris Family Law has a wonderful way of doing these webinars to give you information free of charge. In fact, you'll find one every Wednesday, a new one. And if you want to look at the old ones, you can just go to the website and look at them for valuable information free of charge. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars. Hey, what is the oldest home improvement company continuous in Colorado? I've known all the owners. The original owner, Henry Seligman, the owner that took over, Ted, and Ted I've known for so many years, and now the new owner. And I'm telling you, K&H has a tradition of doing what's needed when needed for the best siding in the business, the best doors and the best windows that take all the maintenance out of your home when it comes to painting and screwing around with windows. We're talking about Diamond Coat or Provia siding. We're talking about Provia windows. And you can go to khwindows.com for details on 30% off. That's 30% off. And that's khwindows.com, 303-421-7100.
This is Steve Powers here with Polls.
Okay, Oak Park, not Royal Oak.
No, he just said Oak Park.
Okay. I probably had a great aunt live there or something.
Huh.
I was raised by my grandmother, my dad's mom, and she had so many brothers and sisters there. She was middle of 9 kids, and so there was so much family around, but all mostly gone now.
We need some calls, Kelly.
What are you doing, Cal?
I can only do what I have.
Just shake the bushes a little bit.
Not a euphemism.
It's been a very slow couple weeks. People must be on vacation or they don't have issues.
With everyone wanting more of your money from eggs to gas to taxes, how do you keep more of what you earn? Call 720-895-0500. Affordable, where we can show you how to pay less interest on your home, have access to your equity for 30 years, and be prepared for unexpected expenses or emergencies. The market has changed.
I can't make
Now
mine
that we're buying it, whether you want to purchase, for the rate and freeze, or the things you want to buy now, or refinance to pay less interest on your
That's a good one. Oh, crap. Oh, my mom was a dead ringer for Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh, bewitched.
That was a crazy deal. As a matter of fact, she said that she had to learn how to wiggle her nose because people demanded that she do it. All right. Okay, Mom.
Do you remember the sitcom Too Close for Comfort?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ted Knight. Oh, yeah.
Nancy
Is that the mom? The wife?
The
Right?
wife.
Okay, yeah.
So my mom looks a lot like Nancy Dusso, and used to get spotted and asked for autographs and things like that because they thought she was literally
That's
Nancy
funny.
Dusso.
That's a good one. I loved her. Yeah, she did such a good job of putting up with Ted Knight.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah. And they had the gay neighbor.
That they kind of skirted around all the time. I mean, they didn't really come right out and, it wasn't like a elementary school drag show.
One of the first gay characters on television.
Number one was Soap, Billy Crystal.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot about Soap.
Yeah.
Soap was great.
Right up there with Mary Hartman. Ferndale Tonight.
So, I can't remember what it's not Us TV. Us is like religious. There's some channel on Dish that does really old time shows like TJ Hooker, and do you remember Benson?
Oh, sure.
And so they have Benson reruns on, and it's just like, oh my god.
Loved Robert Guillaume.
Heart to Heart. If you remember that one.
Oh, it was My Family with Slightly Fewer Murders. It really was. Absolute Lotto fantasy would be get one of those Mercedes. I don't remember what model they were, but they were beautiful. Oh, they were glorious.
It's like the little convertible
Yes.
that she had.
Well, I think he made her
Jennifer
drive the
Hurst.
wagon.
Jennifer Hurst.
Remember, she had the station wagon.
Sometimes, but they had the
He had the little
convertible
coupe, yeah.
450 SL Mercedes for sure. What was the other one that I got? Oh, $6 Million Man. I started when I found it. I was like, oh god. So I taped it on the DVR, and I've been watching it. Fantastic show. One of the
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We have Larson Tax Relief with us if you have any questions on taxes. And we have a question here on non-filers. There seem to be a lot of people who have not filed for years. What's the first step when you have not filed for years?
Typically, you want to determine whether it's going to be an easily filed tax return. Are you a W-2 employee? Is it pretty straightforward? If that's the case, TurboTax, things like that are very easily accessed and they're cheap. You can get them done pretty quickly. I would recommend getting all the returns done at one time and then filing them as opposed to piecemealing them in, especially if you're going to owe. For example, if you file for 2010, you owe some money and you can't pay it, they're not going to set you on an installment agreement to pay it until all your other returns are filed. You have to be compliant.
So should you do all the ones where you don't owe money first?
Sure.
And then go to the ones where you owe money.
Right, and file them all at the same time so that you trigger that collections action.
So, okay, all at the same time for the money you owe.
Right.
And one payment plan for all of that money or one payment plan per year?
One payment plan for everything.
Oh,
right?
good.
You have to be fully compliant. So
how do they determine how much you will pay?
A lot of different factors. There's some easily established installment agreements. You just call them in and set it up on a, well, it depends on how much you owe, and there's some things like that nature, but usually the IRS will do it on a calculation, 72 months, pay off the liability if it's under $25,000. Or if you owe more or you can't pay that number, you can negotiate for terms as low as $1 a month or nothing, called a non-collectible status. There's a lot of different options.
Now, as far as filing, once you file and they do a payment plan, what interest are you paying?
Interest is a moving target with the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the worst bank in the world. So it actually doesn't sound that bad. It's 1 point over prime, but it accrues daily, and so
whoa, wait a minute, accrues daily. 1 point over prime.
Yeah.
So what's prime right now, by the way?
That I don't know. Like I said, it moves around, but that thing
so
tracks.
every day, is that how it works, Scott? That it adds up every day, and then at the end of the month, I mean, what could that be like? 30%?
It's like effective 22% interest rate in most cases. Yeah, like I said, it moves around, and it's hard to define. But in most cases, if you have a credit card, it'd be better to pay your IRS debt with your credit card because the interest rate is going to be less.
Or borrow money or whatever.
And there's penalties as well, which adds to that.
Even a home mortgage, because here's why. They're going to come after your home if you don't.
Right. The IRS, not only are they the worst bank in the world, but they have some pretty, thick claws. And so it makes more sense to owe a credit card company or get an equity loan or something of that nature to pay off your IRS debt and then deal with that on the back end. And that's typically what I'll advise clients if they have equity and they can access it. But a lot of times if you have a tax lien, guess what? You can't get equity in your house. And so then we have to negotiate for payment of plans that are sustainable.
If you have a problem, give us a call. And remember, those names are going up on Sleaze Brigade that I had, plus there's old ones up there you should be aware of, and that's SLEAZE, sleazebrigade.com.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
An easy drive throughout the Denver Metro for the most part before we hit that noon hour. I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds into and out of downtown for the first time all morning. South of downtown, Hampton northbound at South Logan Street, we've got reports of an accident. However, delays are minimal. Light congestion around the intersection. Up on the northeast end of town, I-270 westbound towards Commerce City, we've got some slowdowns approaching Vasquez. Fox 31, pinpoint weather nice and warm again today with a high of 75 degrees in the afternoon, partly cloudy skies. Overnight low of 38. Tomorrow, high of 60 with rain and snow in the afternoon. The current temperature in Denver is 71 degrees with your Impact Traffic and Weather. Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. The FBI's targeting Catholics. NBA coaches are attacking the Second Amendment, and Bud Light is going woke.
Find out about all of this and more on Verdict with Ted Cruz.
Download it now, wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you need help with a personal injury, my accident lawyer here on the show can be your accident lawyer, and he will be your accident lawyer. You're not calling a call center. You're not calling a bunch of assistants. You're going to talk to John Fuller personally. He will go over your case with you personally. He'll give you his personal cell phone and keep you personally updated. You will think you're his only client when it comes to personal injury, and he has pledged to only take as many cases as he will work personally for you. His name is John Fuller, Fuller Law. I've known him for many, many years. The website, myaccidentlawyer.co. I urge you to contact him immediately. You don't have to hire him if you don't think it's a fit or if he believes you can do it yourself. But you do call him, you will notice the difference. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. We love recommending great people like Sheridan Auto Tech. Do you know we get nothing but rave reviews about Uncle Kevin and his team at Sheridan Auto Tech? If you need a pre-purchase exam, he can do that. If you need major repair work done, he can do that. Maintenance, he can do that. Minor repairs, he can do that, including all electrical repairs. He's on Colfax, just west of Wadsworth. Worth the drive, no matter where you're coming from, because you get value, convenience, honesty, ethics, everything you want in an auto repair facility. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242.
Oh boy.
He's got big problems, and all he wants to tell me is that his trip to California is not a vacation because he has to help his friend clean out his koi pond. It's not a vacation, Steve. It's not a vacation, so I have to incur this expense.
Right.
Please tell the IRS that this is not a vacation. This koi pond needs cleaning.
Like, how do I respond to that?
I don't know.
Maybe you should give me a list of your crypto transactions so that you don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Maybe steal some koi. We can pay some of your balances.
Gotta help a friend. Now that's fine.
Not a vacation. Not a vacation. 3 emails it took for him to make sure that I knew. Lord, man.
That's a strange one.
Right?
Yeah, it's like
enough to mention it.
go to Mexico to help my friend clean his boat.
Yeah, it's going to be gone for 3
Not
weeks.
a vacation, though.
Not a vacation. It may or may not be on the beach with him cleaning his boat. We might have to take the boat out for a cruise. I don't know. Make sure that it's clean enough.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you communicate that to the IRS and let them know? Yeah, yeah. I'll communicate. Maybe I won't communicate that to him. He's working.
Stands for Get weird. As in spaghetti sandwiches for dinner. They're my petty. Dad, you're the GOAT.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, now what would you think would be the best states for camping? Wouldn't you say Colorado would be up there? Well, in this top 50 report, recently published, I'll tell you what has come out. California, number 1. Here's what's weird. When it comes to quality rating, Colorado is one of the highest. But when it comes to all around, access, quality, supplies, safety, affordability, California is the best state to camp in. And as summer is coming up, a lot of people like camping. Number 2 is Washington State. Number 3 is Texas. I find it hard to believe that Florida is number 4 for camping. I never think of Florida as camping. And New York, believe it or not, they have beautiful mountains. That's number 5. Colorado comes in at 6. I think Colorado would be way higher than that. I'm sorry. Colorado has to be way higher than that. And when it comes to, and then 7 is Michigan. Virginia is number 8. Number 9 is North Carolina. Then Minnesota, Ohio, Tennessee, Arizona, Connecticut, Illinois, Missouri, Pennsylvania, Iowa, Vermont. I would think Vermont would be way higher than 19. Indiana is 20. Oregon, I would think, would be higher than 21. Maryland, 22. And listen to this, Alaska, 23. Now, wouldn't that be the ultimate camping place? Maybe not all year round, for God's sakes, but Alaska. South Carolina is 24. And if you keep going and keep going and keep going, what's the last? North Dakota. The last state. Rhode Island is next to last. Louisiana, that would be hot and muggy and disgusting. Nevada, Mississippi, I'm going now the lowest ones. South Dakota is one of the lowest ones, 45 out of 50. Wyoming, now this one is shocking, is 42 out of 50. So Wyoming is a beautiful state to camp. Holy crap. Where's Montana on this? Montana is number 32. Now, come on.
Person's from California.
Who the hell? who are making these rankings, people? Who are making these rankings? Okay, so on an audit, somebody wants to know by text, do you need representation in an audit? What do you think? Seriously.
If a CPA did that return, they should help you out with that audit. Because they're the ones that did the return. They're going to be the ones that are going to be able to answer with.
Is that an
respect to
obligation technically?
No, they don't have. They're not obligated to represent you at all. They could tell you to fly.
But they should say, hey, because they did the return.
They did the return. Yeah.
Are they obligated to verify your information?
Yes, they have a fiduciary duty to make sure that what
they
they're putting
can't
on
just
that piece
put
of
down
paper
whatever
is
you
correct.
tell them.
Exactly. Well, they shouldn't.
All right.
Sometimes they do. Then you got to call me.
Now, but you guys represent people.
We
in
do.
audit.
That's where I was saying, if it's not a CPA, you've got nobody, or your CPA bails on you, we would be the ones you would want to call because we can help you out with that.
All right, we have more coming up. 303-713-8255. 713-TALK. No one does kitchen countertops like.
No.
People call me to help them out with audits a lot, and I'm like,
I'm
I can look
just
at your
not
return.
listening.
Didn't somebody do this for you? Oh yeah, I didn't call them. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll help you out with that audit. Sometimes they don't though, because it's hard for me because I mean, if I don't draft a return, I can't. It's hard for me to speak to it. I have to like basically redo the whole thing. It gets really expensive.
Full house today. I won't know what to do.
Well, we have no calls. We've
Oh.
had no calls for like 30 minutes, so this is gonna be fun.
So maybe Dom did blow up the phones?
Yeah, pretty much.
Would you ever?
Criminals
Joe, would
using
you?
voice clones to scam money?
Do you think if one of your kids called crying about needing money,
No.
that you'd take?
But I'm an a-hole, and I'm not going to give my kids money. You have your own damn job.
It depends on the kid.
You've got a favorite? Everybody's got a favorite.
Yep.
Well, you only have one kid.
Yeah. So she's like a favorite solid.
But it is scary. So that was one of the things. You know, Adam was on Dan's show yesterday to talk about AI.
Oh.
And you know, because he
yeah
works for AI. And so you know, he basically that came up, and he was like, okay, but realize that technology is also the same technology that is used to age missing children.
Right.
And you know, kind of do their voices like they would sound after puberty if they were missing at a younger age and things like that. So you know, it's like you got to take the good with the bad and balance
Take them
it.
both, and there you have the facts of life.
That's another one.
Yep.
Facts of life.
I was
We've been talking
crazy
about all
that
the.
one tomboy in there.
Oh,
Joe.
Joe. Nancy McKeon. And her brother played like on one of the other sitcom things. Doug McKeon.
Oh, Doug. He was not Lenny. He's Squiggy, right?
No. This is like Doug McKeon. What the hell was he in? He was in something. So I found this stupid channel on Dish that does all these old shows like Sensen and TJ Hooker and $6 Million Man.
Dragon, any of those shows for you?
I know the names, but I
$6
did not
Million
watch them.
Man. You don't know $6 Million.
I know the names. I did not watch them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Steve Austin. Astro. A man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the ability to create the first bionic man. Steve Austin will be this man. He will be better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster. Okay, so yeah, I'm a little
Yeah, it's fine.
And then they had this really lame spin-off of the Bionic Woman.
Yep.
And that was just lame. I mean, it was not as good as Bionic Woman, for sure. They used to have back in the day soap opera television or soap TV. I can't remember what it was called, but it had like all the old like dynasties from the 80s.
Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All the drinking water you want at your kitchen sink, under $1,000, fully installed, healthy, reverse osmosis water, and it's the best water for absorption and for hydration and for health. That's waterpros.net or paulthewaterman.com. And that's under $1,000, the best system at the lowest price. That's something to keep in mind. We have Steve Cizik today from Larson Tax Relief, and we're talking about taxes. Today is tax day, by the way. Now, they don't do regular taxes, but they handle people they help people who have audits or questions or non-filers or people who have complications in taxes, or when people show up or when letters show up and you don't understand them from the IRS. Now, not everyone who calls needs them, but they'll answer you. They'll talk to you. 844 Larson Tax. Steve, I'm getting a ton of questions, and I hope you know about them, on employee retention credits. Now, here's what I'm getting. Tom, I was approached by a company who says they can get me thousands and thousands of dollars. All I have to do is sign with them. And some of the companies want money up front. Other companies say they'll do it for a percentage of what they collect. What is the story?
Buyer beware on those. Once again, this is one of those, if it's too good to be true, make sure that you vet it before you go jumping in the pool with somebody who's offering something that may not be good.
Have you heard? Okay, I don't think from everything I can read, it's not a scam. The ERC.
It isn't. It's actually gotten easier to get over the last several months than it was previously. They've adjusted it so that it actually makes it more viable.
Your accountant should know about it. Period. End of story.
But
and if your accountant doesn't, you have the wrong accountant.
Why are these companies popping up all over the place, offering to do it for companies for anywhere from 5 to 10% of what you collect?
It's a boiler room atmosphere for sure.
Some of them are 30+%.
Mm-hmm. Of what's coming back. ADP's even offering something of that nature. So the key with this, though, is you have to vet whether you qualify for it. There's multiple different levels of qualification. One is that you had a reduction of income during the period of time that you were during the COVID time.
See, and a lot of people didn't have that reduction. They had the retention, but they did not have the reduction.
Sure, yeah. You had a company you were operating. Yeah, maybe they were at home, but you're still making the same amount of money or whatever it is, or you were supporting them through PPP and all the rest. The one item that is coming up that I've seen more audits on than most is that you have to qualify under an IRS-issued restriction or some sort of order that shut down the functionality of your business during the period of time.
It
like
says
a restaurant.
Like a restaurant.
Well, here's what it
but
says.
Not like a healthcare company
but
that
it says
continue
here,
to operate during the period of time.
It says here, this is all the qualifications. First of all, this is what they say. Kept employees in 20 and 21, paying them. Decreased revenue in 20 and 21. Were in business before 2020 and had W-2 employees. Now, you answer yes, and then they want to know, was your business revenue impacted by a government-mandated slowdown or shutdown? Now, what does that mean? What if you lost revenue? Does it have to be from a government action?
It has to be from a government action.
So, in other words, how would you determine that? If
you could almost argue that in any case during COVID, though.
Yeah. And that's what these companies are saying, but the IRS is coming back and saying, you know what,
a government-mandated slowdown or shutdown in 20 or 21.
Like your health department.
Why are they going after companies now for this? Are they giving them out for year 2022?
They're not. No, so there's limitations on the ERC.
Is this
can go
for people who forgot to file for them?
Yeah, you can file these amended returns going back 3 years. And so for 2020, you can still file your ERC
Did your
amended
business
returns.
experience year over year revenue decrease from 20?
Notice how that's not profit.
From listen, decrease during any quarter of 2020 or 2021. Did your business experience a year-over-year revenue decrease. So it says for any quarter. So if you made money for the year but decreased a quarter, do you collect for that quarter?
You can do it on specific quarters. You can literally do, quarter one I was down, quarter two I wasn't. I'm on a file an amended 941 under an ERC provision for quarter one, but not quarter two. The issue would be, for example, in my industry, I had a government-issued order that sent IRS revenue agents home for a period of time. That affected my ability to do my job, and I lost money, or my firm lost money because of that. I would qualify for the period of time that they were home. But when they came back and they went back to work, even though I still had loss of income, I can't argue that I met that other threshold, that the government had enacted some sort of statute or order that would prevent me from doing my job.
I went through, I didn't tell them how much I lost or anything. I went through and answered this questionnaire for this company and said I had 6 employees, which I do. I just said that. It says here, looks like you may qualify for $156,000. It doesn't know how much I lost. No. I just said I may have lost revenue. I mean, this is where, so when you sign up for these companies, do they want, I think some of them want money up front. Some of them will let you pay afterwards.
Generally, you would just use your accountant, though, once again.
100%.
Then why are these companies, Mark, there are literally 50 companies right here.
Because it's a marketing deal. I mean, they're advertising heavily on the radio everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're chop shops. They're boiler rooms. They've got marketing people sitting back there trying to, sell the product, and then once it's in-house, they'll go ahead and
it's almost like a class action, the way they advertise those things.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have a lot of work in the next couple of years because of this. I guarantee it.
Okay, by the way, they have the IRS is putting out a warning. Beware of ERC promotions. Many eligible employers claim they already received an ERC. Some third party continue to widely advertise that targeting taxpayers who may not be eligible. Unfortunately, these advertisements, along with a prevalence of websites touting how easy it is, many of them are abusive and fraudulent.
Right. And guess what? They take their 20% and they're gone next year when the IRS catches up to you, and guess who's holding the bag? And you say, well, this person said I qualified. Well, it's not the IRS's obligation.
Now, this goes in,
that.
This says you had to have sustained a full or partial suspension of operations due to a government authority limiting commerce, travel, or group meetings during 2020.
That's so many different
or
things.
2021.
And that's where
that's so broad.
Mark,
a significant decline. But
like
what is a significant decline?
I'm going to have to argue that because it's such a subjective topic. But the thing is, the IRS, guilty till proven innocent.
But almost anything in entertainment
because we're going to have to. Well, but what the IRS would say, or the audit agent, depending on their mental acuity, would say, well, you know what? Where does it say that you cannot turn on the radio and do your broadcast from home during this period of time? And they're
well, I'm not saying it would cover us.
Right.
I'm saying it would cover a lot of folks, though.
It would.
So
but you could argue, well, I couldn't get to work, and so therefore I was unable to be as efficient.
So Forbes goes more into detail on why why you can get in trouble. If these companies, and what they're saying is these companies are applying for you.
Mm-hmm. They sign on your behalf.
You are responsible for what they say, and many of them are lying about your losses and about your business to get the thing.
Mm-hmm. They're getting expanded refunds.
And once they get the big refund, they take their share.
And they're gone.
But you're left to face the music, and guess what? The IRS will hold you responsible.
But that's like anything else on a tax return. There's no difference.
Exactly.
I tell my expenses to my accountant. If I tell him, I had $500,000 in sales and $600,000 in expenses and lost $100,000, all he's going to do is say that's what I did, right?
Well, he has to vet that. What these companies are doing is they're not vetting it. In fact, they're inflating the numbers.
But what does this mean? It says it says the IRS tax professionals are being pressured to claim credits improperly. Oh, here's what. So hold on. It says tax professionals are. Now, here's what it says. If the business filed an income tax return deducting wages, then they file for an employment tax return claiming the credit. They can't have both.
Well, and the other thing is,
what does that mean? So
you have to file a amended income tax return,
right?
And so a lot of times these companies are just filing the 941s.
But then
the company's
it says
not
the company
telling
has
their CPA.
But then the company has to do an amended return,
right,
taking out the deduction of wages,
including it as income.
Right.
And the CPA
and now
then says,
it could
hey, I don't agree with that. I'm
and,
not going to file this return for you because what this guy did was fraudulent. I don't want to be a part of the amended
return. But what
return.
Forbes is saying is when you get your credit and you go back and take it out of your deduction, it could be a wash.
It could be because you got to go ahead and file your income tax return. You have to amend your income tax return to account for that income.
And you have to take – why do they make you take out the salary deduction that you took for your employees? Because they're reimbursing you?
Dip. Yeah, because
so
at that
they're
point
reimbursing you.
That's essentially income to you because you didn't have to expense it as a taxation, payroll tax, which is an expense on your bottom line of your business.
Do you get that, Mark? Because you're getting a credit. They're saying you can't take the deduction, and many times
there is no deduction if you're getting the money back, though.
Exactly.
That's what they're saying. So you have to go back and amend your taxes. So a lot of these companies with the ERC get paid their share because the company
and if they're getting 30 or 40%, which some of these are,
and
you
then,
could end up having a tax burden that's higher than that 60% they made you.
That's exactly. If you get 60% of the net, what Forbes is saying is,
wouldn't that be a kick in the ass?
Very few companies you break even at best.
At best,
we got you 200 grand is the good news, but the bad news is you owe 300 now.
And now you're calling Steve because you owe a bunch of taxes that you didn't know before.
Beware of these ERCs.
Remember Don Eiley.
It's very concerning.
All those people, that's a good example. If you have an accountant, you have someone doing your payroll, you have all these people, they're not responsible. It ultimately lies on you, the taxpayer.
303-713-8255.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's...
Tom and I talked about it almost a year ago. I was like, this is coming down the pipe. I guarantee it, and it's all happening now. And they're getting crushed. It's kind of messed up.
There was so much fraud. It's so insane.
Well, the PPP, I heard that if you stole less than $25,000, you're not even gonna look at you. Not even gonna look at you.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, for them. I mean,
Costs
they're going after
much.
guys for millions,
Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney that I hope you never need. Some people just get in trouble. They drink and drive. They try to calculate. They do something wrong. They get in a scuffle with a neighbor. Whatever it is, you need an attorney, and you should never shop for an attorney when you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. Put the name away. Save it. I hope you don't need it. You might have to refer it to somebody. Joe Lazzara. Free initial consultations, and then flat rate pricing depending on the offense, so you're not nickeled and dimed. It's very predictable and manageable. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. FixMyHome.com. That's the website for Fix It 24/7. And somebody just today, Michael Brown says, who do I get? I need that air conditioner checked out. I haven't had it checked out in a few years, and I want to turn it on. I said, Mike, call Fix It 24/7. They do a $39 extreme clean that you won't believe. They take out the dirt and grime, the #1 killer of air conditioners. They give you a no breakdown guarantee. And for new customers, and you'll be a new customer, it's just $39. That's a real deal. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. You won't believe this deal for $39. I mean, really, it should be $200 or $300. And other companies, when they say they check and clean, they don't clean at all. FixMyHome.com. Fix it 24/7. 720-526-3939.
We came so close to getting a house, man.
Really, what happened again?
Where? We overbid on it too. We liked it that much, man.
What happened?
We just got outbid.
Is this the one from a month ago?
No, you've never seen this one.
So what happened to the other one though that you found after the first one?
They didn't accept a counter. There was too much wrong with it.
Oh.
This one, they wanted 700. We bid 730. I told them, I said, we'll close in 3 days. 3 days. I gave them 30 grand over, and I said I have to have an answer by tonight, though. We didn't even walk through it. We did a virtual walkthrough with their realtor. Absolutely fell in love with it. But someone bought it for more. It's the bottom line. There was about 3 cash offers.
Wow.
It was gorgeous. Had an elevator. Had a fucking beautiful elevator. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. 1 story on stilts. About 3,000 square feet. Beautiful boathouse. Just beautiful, man. So gorgeous. New. Like, pretty fucking new.
Aren't there a lot of
100-year-old wood floors.
Aren't there a lot of them out there?
Not like this one. This was one of those finds.
Really disappointed you?
Yeah, I was so bummed out yesterday I couldn't believe it. I thought we had a damn good shot. No, I said no appraisal. I said everything you could possibly want as a seller.
No contingencies.
Nothing.
No appraisals. No inspections.
Nothing.
Why?
Close in 3 days.
But why no inspections?
I just trusted the realtor and that I trusted the house. Just ready to go. Just the year it was built, the other offers coming in. When she was doing the walkthrough, it was on an open house yesterday or Saturday. Fuck, there had to be. Oh my God. As she's walking around, there's 30, 40 people looking at this house.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen an open house so successful. But you're looking at it, you're like, holy shit, this is exactly what we want. That house in the Keys or in Florida would have been 2.5 all day long. So gorgeous. The elevator was the bomb.com, though. Most of those don't have elevators. And this had a full, an elevator for 3 people. Most of them don't have elevators.
Cool.
Well, the only time you'd really use it, if you had older people coming, someone in a wheelchair or something. But grocery shit like that, it comes in handy. But a lot of them have dumbwaiters, which are elevators just for food.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But nothing. This had a full-blown elevator. And then a wraparound deck. I almost kicked myself going, maybe I should have said 750.
Advisors, TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. HarrisFamilyLaw.com/webinars for those free webinars. But I also want to that's on anything family law related, the archives, and find out about the new ones there. But they also do estate law, elder law. They do wills, trusts, avoiding probate, and planning for family. That's without family law or with it. It doesn't matter. If you just want wills and trusts, they do that too. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. So we're talking about taxes and things, but yesterday I hit a nerve. I got a lot of email follow-up on these unhealthy cereals. And why? Because people are in love with these cereals and they're advertised as being healthy. Now, who's calling them unhealthy? This is what's amazing. First of all, I just want to tell you folks something, the true fact. Every cereal in your grocery market aisle is unhealthy. Every single one of them. If they have grains and if they have sugar and carbs, they're unhealthy. They have way more sugar and carbs are sugar, than they have any nutritional value. But for the FDA to come out and call something unhealthy. Oh, and by the way, another thing that makes cereals unhealthy are the fats they contain. Any seed oils or stuff like that. You don't want any seed oils. Seed oils suck, okay? Now, But for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to call something unhealthy, that is incredible because they don't know squat about nutrition. But so for them to say something is unhealthy, it's got to be really, really bad. And they're judging that on sugars and fats. You know, I applaud them for at least doing this. But this doesn't stop here. This is kind of unfair. They're taking only the highest sugars and fats, bad fats, not the other ones. The other ones are bad too. But they listed these 7 top cereals as being unhealthy. Special K, for example, is one of them. Now, Special K has really only 4 grams of sugar for their... Now, see, but this is what's misleading. The sugar they talk about, added sugars, they're not talking about the carbs that come in the grains themselves, and that's a sugar. And also sodium. Special K is loaded with sodium. So all of these cereals have sodium and sugars and carbs and bad fats. Raisin Bran, unhealthy. According to the FDA, Honey Nut Cheerios, unhealthy. Corn Flakes, unhealthy. Honey Bunches of Oats, unhealthy. Frosted Mini Wheats, unhealthy. And what about Life, unhealthy? I used to love Life. Life, Mikey, he'll eat anything. Remember that? And then Special K. So this was the White House Conference on Nutrition and Health, which, as I said, I find astounding that they even had the balls to call something unhealthy because they're so bad at what they do. But that's what it is right there, the top bad cereals. And if you have any of them, I have other bad news. Many of the major brands of baby food were found to contain arsenic, above safe levels, and heavy metals. That's right, baby foods. I'm not kidding you. So, you know, that's another thing that has people shocked. Let me see. I have it right here. Now, here's the thing. They don't have a clean list. They have an article that writes about the baby foods, so you got to really read through it to see some of the problems with the baby foods. But they're unhealthy baby foods. And let me see. I'm trying to find it here, the baby foods, because this shocked me that there are so many of those that have high levels of heavy metals and arsenic. Okay, speaking of nutrition, there is a such thing, truly, of psychedelic water. Now, do you know what psychedelic water is?
It's water with a little acid in it, man.
It's microdosing of hallucinogens to a point where people say they can feel it. It doesn't make them extremely high, but they love it. Now, what are the ingredients? Kava root, Ternera, diffusion leaf extract, green tea extract. So where's the psychedelic? It's functional microdosing. It is a functional microdose was crafted to provide the health benefits of microdosing traditional psychedelics. Okay, like from mushrooms and nootropic ingredients, and also things that have been known for mood elevating, cognitive boosting, and creativity enhancing. They're talking about tripping. But basically, what they're saying is microdose is meant to be only used. Now listen how crazy this is. Listen carefully. They have mushrooms, they have chaga, they have something called cordyceps, they have nootropics, they have GABA, caffeine, theanine, and they say this psychedelic water is only meant, now what is this inviting? I'm going to ask you this. Only meant to be consumed once a day. So what is that telling you? What is that telling you? What are people going to do? They're going to take a six-pack.
A lot of hydrating.
No, seriously. No. It's meant to be used once a day. So that's how they get around the idea of dosing yourself with hallucinogens. And where can you buy it? Should I even tell people? Okay, Urban Outfitters. Air One. You've heard of Air One. They're in California. In fact, some of the Air Ones are closing because of the shoplifting. Because in Air One, by the way, you think Whole Foods' whole paycheck is big? is bad, you go to Air One, you need to take a mortgage out to buy stuff. Air One is absolutely abusive with pricing. EREWHON out in California. Walmart is carrying them. Nugget, Foxtrot, Amazon, eBay, and Pink Dot. All you can buy a psychedelic water. That's amazing, isn't it? And it's mood, and they come right out and tell you, you are microdosing hallucinogens. Microdosing. Only meant to be consumed once a day. So that invites people. That invites high school kids or anyone. You don't have to be 18 to buy it. That invites them to take it and slug it.
They got chicken broth at that joint for $21.
Air One.
$21 chicken broth.
Oh no, it's an abuse.
Guess how much a dozen eggs is there right now? $14. They're organic. This is crazy pricing.
No, that's California.
I've never heard of this place.
Just gotta wash it down with some water.
Oh, no, they have a coffee. They have a $14 coffee.
Oh my God! A smoothie is $19.
Right.
A 20-ounce smoothie.
Mark, look at their bulletproof coffee.
Okay, how much bananas? I don't even know how much bananas are around here. $2. Is that cheap for a banana?
Yeah, that is cheap. Oh, is that for one banana?
Per pound.
No, that's to look at it. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
A couple sore spots on the Denver roads and freeways for the noon hour. I-25 north and southbound, no complaints into and out of downtown. Heading northeast of downtown, Colorado Boulevard, an accident reported at 40th Avenue.
Not 2%. So no water. Half gallon.
$6.
$12. That is unbelievable. Oh my God, man. I mean, you got to be stupid to shop here. How's that? Is there anyone in there, or is it just one guy?
It's so crowded. You can't fucking move.
Really?
It is so crowded.
How much is psychedelic water is going to cost?
Okay, listen to this one. This will kill you. Paper towels.
Come on.
$7.99 for 2 rolls.
You can get that same thing at Costco.
Made in the Shade. That's where you get your window coverings, and you get them for a bargain. In fact, it doesn't even pay to do it yourself, because what they do is measure free and estimate free. Measurement alone is amazing, because if you don't get it exactly right, your window coverings won't be right, especially if they're going on the inside of the window. And they can tell you where they should go based on what you buy. They have a designer to help you buy and order the stuff if you decide to go with them. And listen to this. They have an in-house team to come and put them up. They even have loaner shades in between while you're waiting. They are great people, designer help, good prices, great guarantees on installation, and all the major brands of manufacturers. That's Made in the Shade. Look them up. Go to referralist.com. Search them out. Made in the Shade. 720-458-6566. I can say the same with the Art of Granite. The Art of Granite will do your countertops. Cost for all materials, whether it's granite or any other natural stone or engineered stone. They do it all. Any solid surface. That's theartofgranite.com. They'll give you a price on the phone, tear out and haul away free. And when you do the kitchen, they'll throw in a bathroom vanity free. Get your price right now. 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919.
They don't have any normal food either, I'm noticing.
So DeSantis, man, he is really causing Disney some headaches.
He said he might build a prison next to him.
I know.
Hey, they shouldn't have got involved. I mean, that was really stupid of that ex-CEO there.
It wasn't just him. It was the whole place. They think they're bulletproof. They're not.
I'm trying to actually... Let me see if these are somewhere else.
He knows they have too much invested to ever move. Do you realize that? They could never move.
No.
Never.
Oh, where would they build? I mean, they'd have to go to, like, I don't even know where, Alaska. I mean, where the hell would they get that kind of property?
Why isn't he doing lives with me anymore?
I don't know. What do we care?
No, I don't, kid. I shouldn't ask him.
Fuck no. That would be a weird thing to remind him. I'm trying to find like one thing that they sell that Walmart sells, and I'm like, they don't even sell fucking Pepsi. Let me see if they sell Coke.
I don't think Whole Foods sells like regular soda, do they?
No, it's kind of natural stuff.
Below them.
Yeah.
It blows me away, some of this crap. A 2-ounce chocolate chip cookie. One fucking cookie. $5. Who the fuck buys a $5 cookie?
I don't know.
Someone who doesn't give a shit.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They have meat there?
I don't know.
Chicken or
it might be a vegan
beef
joint. I can't even imagine. I don't think they do have meat. I don't.
Maybe
I just
not.
typed in meat. There's nothing.
They know their clientele.
Here's a pantry. I can't believe Tom goes here and shops.
I never even heard of it. There's a reason why.
They should open one in Cherry Creek.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They'd clean up.
You think so?
I don't know. I think most people from Colorado are a little bit more practical than California, but never know.
Okay, here we go. I found something the exact same. Streets. Kosher matzo ball and soup mix. $2.18 at Walmart. $4.49.
So 100% markup.
Yeah, $4.49 there. Actually, that's less than I thought. I thought it would be triple, but it's over double. That's
They
crazy.
probably have a policy. Only 100% is the markup is what we'll do.
God, it was hard finding anything that matched though.
That's insane.
Matzo balls.
I'm gonna have to go get some of this water and go take a hike or something, man. That sounds great. Sounds like I'm gonna have to pay $30 for it though.
So how much is sushi?
At that place?
So this says wild salmon rainbow sushi roll, 3 ounces. I mean, how much would that be at a sushi restaurant? I have no. I don't eat sushi.
Like $10 or something for like a roll.
It's $19.
So yeah, 100% markup. That's what they're doing. It's like the Bizarro Costco.
Yeah, they double the price of everything, and
it's
people
double
think they're
yeah,
smart.
They think they're getting something better.
The paper towels is amazing, though. I mean, it's something you throw away.
I know.
You don't eat it, you don't consume it.
$4 a roll.
Yeah.
$4 a roll.
Couldn't be.
And they're work harder for you with Belco's premier money market account. Visit belco.org for details.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, let's keep going here. We have some really, did you know, and you may not care, that extra large eggs mean nothing? There's no legal definition of extra large eggs. Some people just call them extra large, and they're simply larger than some others, or not. It depends on, they simply put them in the package. They eyeball them, but they most of the time mean nothing. There is no legal or FDA or FTC, Federal Trade Commission, requirements when you label eggs. You notice not one of them ever says small? You don't ever see a label that says small. Well, there have to be small compared to large, right? But they don't say it. It's either large or extra large. So the smalls have become large. That's how, like small in Starbucks is tall. 303-713-TALK. Okay, now, as far as work-at-home scams, at an all-time high. Do you know why? Because of the pandemic. People were looking to work at home. When companies started requiring people to come back to the office, that's when companies swung into full action and started hiring people at home. And the biggest, you would think that it would be logical that the biggest red flags of working at home, what would they be?
Well, paying money to do so.
That's exactly right, or to register or to sign up. Another one is when there's no apparent reason to have you work at home. They tell you you're going to be doing this or you're going to be doing that, and the skill or the duty doesn't sound like much, okay? You're thinking, what? What do I have to do this for? I mean, years ago, they were too obvious. Years ago, they would send you pellets that you would put in water. They said what you're doing is you're going to be making jugs of something. This was really a bad scam, where you would put them, and then they say they have to stay in your basement for so long. Then we'll send shipping cartons to get them. They never sent the shipping cartons. After they sold you these tablets that they were going to buy, once it turned into a gallon, you bought the tablet for a certain amount, $5. The gallon they'd buy from you for $12, and you'd be doing this all. You'd be buying loads and loads of these tablets, spending $100 or so, and then they never contacted you again to pick up the gallon jugs from your house. That was an obvious, big, stupid one, but there are more subtle ones. And then, of course, the age-old one of stuffing envelopes. Now that, you know what that was, right? You would put an ad in saying, get a job stuffing envelopes, make up to so-and-so per day. So then when you sent for that, they would send you the ad that they just put in that got you, and the stuffing of the envelopes that other people can do. So you send $5 to learn how to stuff envelopes. So you put in the ad, send $5, make money at home stuffing envelopes up to $100 a day. Now, or more. Now, you get, when you respond to that ad, you get the same package. Put this ad in the paper and tell them they can stuff envelopes, and they'll pay you $5 for this same package. And you'll make money too. So there is absolutely nothing being exchanged and nothing being done except people stuffing envelopes to tell more people to stuff envelopes. And that, believe it or not, is still going on right now. Okay, Mark, I looked this up because I'm tired of you. Okay? I looked it up on a site that is totally neutral. I mean, they're not political. They're not.
What is it? MSNBC? What is it?
It's called Statista.com. It's one of the most reliable sites.
God, every site you go to, he always has one thing to say. It's the most reliable.
No, this one. You look it up, Statista.com. All it is are statistics, raw statistics, not interpreted in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm so tired of you saying your nonsense, the top selling in millions, bar none, raw sales of records and money. So if they sold an album, if they sold a 45, if they sold a CD, if they sold an MP3, doesn't matter. It's gross dollars. The top selling artists of all time, they've listed them here. And again, I did that because I'm tired of you talking about the monkeys, but we'll talk about that coming right back.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
A fairly standard drive throughout the Denver Metro with one or two scrapes and bruises out there. I-25 northbound, we are seeing some congestion between 6th Avenue and Colfax. I-25 southbound, no complaints from one end of town to the other. Northeast of downtown, Colorado Boulevard northbound, we've got a crash reported at 40th Avenue with congestion around the intersection, but delays are minimal. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there with a high of 75 degrees this afternoon, overnight low of 38. Tomorrow, clouds rolling in with rain and snow with a high of 60. The current temperature in Denver is 72 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
Hey, let's talk about the best water heater deals anywhere. Mark, Who am I going to say? Come on, we love this guy.
Plumbing.
Why is he doing this? Why? How did he do this?
To introduce a company, to get in there, to get you a water heater at a good, fair price.
You wanted a bigger water heater. He still beat everybody's price. Now,
that's right.
Because for the 40 gallons, just $12.99. 50 gallons, $13.99. That includes new supply lines, tearing out the old one, hauling it away, and a brand new Rheem or A.O. Smith with great warranties and an installation warranty. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. They'll beat any water heater deal. 303-668-6844. 303-668-6844. Now, talking about a deal, what about electrical problems? Do you know how hard it is to get somebody to look at your car if you have an electrical problem? Oh, my goodness. Sheridan Auto Tech does that. Sheridan Auto Tech does a great job with all maintenance, whether it's electrical or it is any kind of a problem with that you need fixed immediately. All right. They also do maintenance. They can do actual scheduled maintenance that you would normally get at a dealer to keep your warranty alive. And it is legal, and you don't have to go to a dealer. SheridanAutotech.com. Wadsworth, it's, on Colfax, just west of Wadsworth. You will love these people. 303-455-7242. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney. Now, people call him when they're hurt, and you should call him early. Because if he can't help you, he'll tell you right up front. If you don't have a great case, he'll tell you right up front. One thing you won't do is get shuttled off to an assistant or to an underling or to an attorney who just started out, who's going to take your name and number and then take your case no matter what, because that's what they do. They gather leads and they hardly work them. They only work the big ones or what the ones they think will be big. They have meetings to say, okay, put that one on the back burner, put that one on the back burner. See, John Fuller doesn't do that. He talks to you personally. He will only take cases that he personally works each and every day. That's it. That's how he limits the size of his firm, by his choice. And if you want to talk to John Fuller, you will talk to John Fuller. And there will be no charge for the free legal advice and case evaluation. Then, if you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis, and he will work directly with you. You even get his cell phone number, honest to God, real cell phone number. 303-597-4500 is the office. Start with a call to John. 303-597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
I don't like the longevity is a hard one. The Beatles, when did they come around?
No, that has a lot to do with it. The longer you're around, the more you will sell. So for example, Taylor Swift, she wasn't around that long.
That's right. And she sold 114 million albums in less than
that's
8
a good
years.
one. That's a good
and
one.
And the Beatles only have sold 157 or something.
183 million.
183. In how many years?
Almost 50 years.
More than 50, I think.
Oh, these are units, by the way. They're not dollars. Units.
Okay, so actual discs.
Actual units sold.
Yeah. So, I mean, if one person does it in 10 years and it takes the other people 50, do you just do the math? Because if you did it that way, she sold 500 million.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to still, people are going to still be buying Swifty discs or whatever it's going to be in 10 years, I would assume.
And then how about total cash?
That one I thought that's what I thought this was, and it wasn't.
You got to adjust the jest.
Who's left in
Look,
the
Mark,
Beatles?
this site though, market though, Statista, because they have everything. Go to the home and you can find on everything. Everything.
Well, I can tell you right now, Taylor Swift outsold the Beatles this year by a fuckload. And last year, and the year before, and the year before.
Woman's a hit maker, man. She's a machine.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know Paul McCartney had that kind of money. That's a lot of money.
He's like a royalty. He's no J.K. Rowling, but he's scratching the surface.
Didn't Michael Jackson own the Beatles catalog?
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, I think so.
His estate owned it.
He made a shitload off of it too.
I don't think he resold it. I think the estate owns it. I don't know. They might have.
I think you're right. I think the estate's still just pulling money off of it.
Boy, that'd be crazy. Jackson sold 50% of ATV. to Sony for $95 million.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
And that created a company called Sony ATV. Now, I wonder who owns Michael Jackson's music. Wouldn't that be screwed up?
His estate.
Okay. Well, it's amazing. These guys, so this ATV Sony owned Bob Dylan, Hank Williams, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift.
Are you shitting me? What, are you kidding me? What? To be Statista, to join this, to get all the stats you want as an individual, it's $490 per month. Wow. I swear to God.
Per month?
Per month. Yeah, billed annually.
That's like shopping at that grocery store.
Right.
Yeah. For one.
Hi, Tom Martino. Okay, what I said was this was not based on dollars, but it is the top selling recording artists of all time based on numbers of units. Now, Mark brought up a good point, even though I'm tired of hearing him about the monkeys, but he said it goes by if you consider longevity, how long the Beatles have been out there, and then you consider someone like Taylor Swift. I mean, it's amazing that she sold about half of what they sold, but she's been around a quarter of the time or less.
No, so, she sold almost 3/4 of what they sold. 114 versus what was theirs?
183. So let's go through this. The Beatles are the #1 seller of all time with a total units of 183 million. Garth Brooks. Now that does not surprise me. Garth Brooks is number 2. Let me go to the phones first, and then we'll do this next because you always get priority. Anna, go ahead, Anna. What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
The reason for my call is I've actually had a friend beg me to call you.
What's happening?
I bought a new build. I know. I bought a new build home back in 2020.
From who?
And a Richmond home.
A Richmond, okay. And what's going on with it?
Yep. I've just had ongoing issues with the house, and getting a hold of the company, the builder, it's just almost impossible.
Now, is it under warranty?
Well, I had a 2-year warranty on it, but even when I was under warranty, it was almost impossible to get a hold of them. I had to leave multiple
any issues that happened, any issues that you documented under warranty should still be covered.
Okay. One of them is not. I just recently this winter I had trouble with my furnace.
Okay.
And I'm still having trouble with it. I've had multiple companies come out to look at it.
Okay, hold on. That has a separate warranty, if you prove ownership. That would have a separate warranty. Oh. What kind of furnace? Are you there, Anna?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what kind of furnace?
It's a Goodman furnace.
Okay, now, Goodman furnace has a warranty, and it surely is more than 2 years. So even if your house has a 2-year warranty, you have a warranty through Goodman. What's the problem with the Goodman?
So I actually contacted Goodman, and they've replaced every part on my furnace at this point. And
well, hold on. They're not very complicated. What were your symptoms? What were your beginning symptoms?
So my furnace just turns off randomly, and then it goes into a lockout, and I have to manually go restart it a few times before it gets up and running again.
And who have you had look at it? Like what companies? Have you used any really smart companies? I need to know that.
I've called Fix It 24/7.
Yeah, what did they say? No, I would be really interested. What did they say it was caused by?
So at first it started with it needed new parts, and then they finally got to the point where they replaced every single part on it, and then said that I have a defective furnace that I needed.
Yeah, but there's no such thing. I mean, it's all it is a conglomeration of parts. So, like when you say every single part, the thing that would cause those lockouts, there would be a thermal lockout. There would be a problem with gas. There would be a problem with back puffing that would cause some air quality issues. There's not much that causes that, and they've changed all of that stuff. and like it wouldn't be the heat exchanger or anything like that. So they stopped it.
Was all that done under warranty?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we contacted Goodman, and Goodman told me that all the parts are under warranty for 5 years. Unless it's registered, then it's 10 years. But as far as it goes, once all the parts have been replaced, there's nothing else that can be done because the furnace itself is
So
not
what
under
does
warranty.
Fix-It say to do? Fix-It tells you just need to replace the whole unit.
Correct.
And what does your warranty say about that?
The builder's warranty?
No, your Goodman warranty.
Well, when I called them, that's what they told me is that all the parts were under warranty.
So they say
and
the
they've been
parts, but they won't replace the unit.
Correct.
That's what I'm reading their warranty. That's exactly what it says.
So that's weird, though, because they
wait. You're saying the opposite of what you just said. It's made up of all the parts.
No, and it's weird that they won't replace it because of that. I mean, because, well, you're right. What else could it be if she replaced all the parts?
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing. Right.
Yeah.
You're right. I am double talking because I'm confused, but I need to know this. Are you sure every major component's been replaced?
That's what they told me, and I actually had another company come out, and they told me that they were amazed that every part was replaced, and they couldn't figure it out either.
Okay, what was that
so
other
they had a
company's
couple
name?
things-
Who was the other company?
It's called North Climate
All right,
Control, I believe.
just hang on. We'll come back.
If you're looking for a safe, conservative investment,
Hey, hold on. Now we look outside the furnace. There's air supply that can do that.
It could be undersized,
It could be-
oversized.
Well, but that won't lock it out.
It
just,
could, if it was freezing, for example. Oh, it's not the AC, it's a furnace.
Right.
Could
Now,
be gas supply.
It could be.
They have those like little.
Could be the gas supply.
Pressure
Could be the air supply, and it could be the electrical.
Yeah,
issue.
but if that would have been replaced.
No.
If you mean like
electrical.
a circuit board.
No. I'm talking about voltage problem.
In and out of the
Amperage, voltage.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be able to tell that?
I don't know if they would have it on for a sustained amount of time.
So weird. And you would think generally when something goes into that kind of limp mode, there's a code that tells you which one of those things it is.
You should see this interview with Don Lemon and Morgan Freeman. And he asked Morgan Freeman, don't you think there's a racial disparity in Hollywood and in the country when it comes to pay and salary, blah, blah, blah? And he says, no.
He makes a shitload of money.
Yeah. He says, no.
Morgan Freeman's one of the highest paid actors
He says,
there
it comes
is.
right down to what you do. He said, look at you. Look at me. So what disparity's there? What's stopping anyone?
What did Don say?
Oh, he was like tripping over himself trying to make his case. And he just shot him right down. He said, no, I think we make too much of race. That's what he says in a very calm way.
Well, he's got that voice.
Yeah, he does.
You know.
But Don Lemon was just trying to stir shit up. Did you see the guy that interviewed Elon Musk about Twitter? He said, look it up. I believe it was an English journalist about the hate on Twitter. I'm not going to tell you. You got to see it.
Okay.
You got to see it to see how he how he dealt with it. Oh my God! And then he says, Elon Musk said that Twitter was basically just a government tool.
Yeah. There's so many bots running around that damn thing too. Like,
And people hate him because.
Well, so it was
can you imagine liberals hating someone who is freeing speech? How does that happen?
You fall in line.
It's a hallmark.
Yeah.
Free speech.
Yeah, you can be a liberal as long
In
as
fact,
you
no,
fall
but
in line.
but
You gotta
liberals
fall in line.
champion. I'm sorry, liberals champion. They champion freedom and free speech. They were the champions of it.
The only people more judgy than
It has fucking
the
swamped.
liberal
It
left
swamped.
is the Catholic right. They're both the most judgy freaking sides. They're the same. They're the same side of the coin. It's like, let me be judgy about this as long as we can be judgy. Like, everybody stop being so judgy. Like, it's fine. Live and let live, man. It's crazy. You go crazy if you pay attention
People
to all
don't
that
like
stuff.
Musk because he is truly one of the few people I know is right down the middle.
Well, he just doesn't give a shit either.
But he's not one way crazy
Yeah.
or the other.
No.
Yeah, but that's because of his defect, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defect makes him.
He's socially inept for sure.
Oh,
but
God.
that
His
helps
only
him to-
social skills are that of what he's been told to do, and that he can actually retain.
Right.
I mean, I bet if he got
born in the U.S.
I think so.
Yeah.
So he
yeah.
could run for
He's
president.
just like he doesn't. He has that.
I don't think I'd
He's on the
vote for him.
spectrum or whatever. My wife works with autistic kids, and he has an inability to. I think the term is, he doesn't care what people think.
Yeah, he doesn't have a filter.
Nor does he think that they care either.
Yeah.
So he doesn't. There's just like, whatever. I'm just going to do this because in my mind this works. I don't care what anybody else thinks this works. Yeah. I'm going to do it.
But he, like you said though, he also kind of thinks everybody is that way.
Right.
He doesn't
he has
understand.
no social, social cues, which is crazy for someone with that kind of.
I don't think I'd want him to be president though.
Oh my God. I mean, there's a lot of nuance.
I said he could.
Politics. So much nuance.
Oh no, he would be worse than. Never mind.
Who knows who would be worse than?
Hey, and by the way, no matter what you say, the Beatles did outsell them that year. Not totally.
You mean the Monkees?
Yes.
That's true. Those are facts. That goes back. Is that the one that was at the album that he got? The one with them doing the boy band?
It was. Well, I think it was the year the show was at its top. That show was very successful.
Which one? Oh,
the Monkees. In fact, it's worse than that, or not worse, but better than that. In 1967, the year of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts, Between the Buttons, and then their Satanic something or other, the Monkees outsold both the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined.
That's big time.
Probably because neither British band had a hit TV show on its hands. And then what's really crazy is this goes on to say they were just a manufactured group. Their only contributions to any of the writing or songs was their voices.
Yeah, like the K-pop of the 70s, right?
Yeah, exactly. Although it says here that Davy Jones had more influence and was a better songwriter in his pinky compared to John Lennon.
They say that about the Beach
That's
Boys.
and that's scientific. That's on that same website.
Yeah.
Statista.
It's on.
Yep.
Did you read that one?
Yep.
Davy Jones had more fucking shit in his pinky than all the Beatles combined.
Talent?
Talent.
You're so.
It's right on your Statista.
Fucking Lennon.
Mark expensed it on his business. He's got
Lennon and
$400 a month coming out of his
Lennon
business.
and McCartney are the most prolific songwriters. They've been picked up by world class.
Not compared to Davy Jones, according to this article.
Jones, who also has a locker we've heard about. I don't know.
That's right.
He's been around forever.
I didn't see John Lennon have any TV show.
True, that TV show was good.
Zappa called it bubblegum music.
Yeah, it's just the K-pop of the 70s. Okay.
They really hated how. I mean, it's kind of funny, these articles on how much shit they took, but yet they outsold the two biggest ones that year. I mean, that's crazy. Combined.
That's amazing.
A hit's a hit, man. These guys, they've been doing it for years. Slap them together.
I wonder if...
At KHOW.com, inflation salvation on 630 KHOW. And you could win $5,000 now by listening to 630 KHOW on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. We got full lines. Got to get to the phones. We have Larson Tax Relief with us, too, if you have any tax questions. And this hour brought to you by Water Pros for the cleanest water, the best water at the lowest prices anywhere. PaulTheWaterman.com. Let's continue and see what we can do to help you. Now, here's the thing. We have a couple comments on Anna's furnace issue. Anna bought a home 2 years ago from Richmond Homes, and she has a Goodman furnace. And virtually, she had Fix It 24/7, a very good company, come out and change every major component, the valves, all of this. Right now, the furnace fails and goes into limp mode or a shutdown lockout mode. So I've always been taught when you don't have and can't find a problem from within, you look then outside. In other words, what would be outside of a furnace that could affect it? Well, inside the furnace, you have all the components. She had those replaced. What's outside? The gas supply, the air supply, the electrical supply. If you have variation in electrical, that could cause major problems with these delicate circuit boards. What if you have a variation in a gas supply? That can do it too. What if you have a variation in air supply? That can do it too.
But we're actually going on the basis that every part was replaced.
Yeah, and again, we can. I'd love to talk to Fix It to see what they said, but they, like if Jody has a comment, and then Derek. Jody, what is your comment? And you're up, by the way, Anna, listening to them. Jody, what's your comment on this?
We had the same issue with our furnace, and when the guy came and checked it, it was the pipe, the air going out. Well,
it was being choked down.
Yes.
And it caused a back feed. Yep, that could happen.
Yep. And the pipes that were going outside were like 2 1/4 inch. He changed them to a 3-inch pipe, and I haven't had a problem since.
Well, thank you for the information. I appreciate that. Derek, what is your comment?
I was going to say, if they, depending on how they ran diagnostics on that, it could very well be a bad circuit. That circuit could have an issue where it's not grounded properly.
Yep, that's electrical. Yes, it could.
Yep, that's going to cause all sorts of mayhem with that circuit board.
And, just really in defense of good technicians, they often don't look outside the unit. They look...
Right. A lot of times they stick with their scope of work, which is usually not...
Which is the unit itself. And that is something I want to check with, too, Anna, to see what they checked. Do you recall the technician that was at your place, or did they send different ones each time?
I've had 5 different technicians look at it.
Did they ever look at the output of air? Do you know?
I do not believe so. I do know that they changed the circuit board and they checked the gas valve and replaced the gas valve and then checked all the pressures.
Hey, can we get one of our furnace experts on the phone? Let's get
Fix It on. They were out there.
Let's call Fix It. Even if they don't know about this one, we're going to present it to them. Or let's call Plumb Line.
Okay.
Either one. Hold on,
Okay.
and we will continue this. Okay. Right now, John, you want to give kudos? Go ahead, John.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Tom. Hey, you often recommend Compass Insurance.
Yes.
And I took you up on that, and I had 3 policies I had them look at: my car insurance, my HOA insurance, and an umbrella insurance policy.
Yeah.
And they sent me over $800 over a period of a year.
Isn't that wonderful? I love that. I really, really do. And and if they couldn't save you money, they'd be the first ones to tell you. And I'm glad. Did you call the show previously, and that's why I recommended it?
No, Tom, but I have listened to you for quite a while. And
well, thank you.
Recommend them. And
who'd you work with over there?
I worked with Ryan, and he was outstanding.
Yes, they sure are. Well, thank you so much, man, for holding on just to take the time to tell us that stuff. We can also call 888heating.com. They're pretty good people, Garrett. I mean, just to get different opinions, maybe. Maybe they have someone over there, and they've been reliable. 303-770-2776. 303-770-2776. They might chime in on this.
How old was furnace? How
2 years
old.
old. Well, the house is 2 years old.
And when did it start happening?
Did it start happening right away? Anna?
No, this just started this late winter.
So you wouldn't think it would be the
January.
venting size, because a PVC pipe's not going to change.
In other words, if venting did not do it in the beginning, why would it do it now?
If it didn't do it for 2 years.
Unless there's a bird's nest in there.
Unless
there's
weird.
a bird nest in there or something.
That's a good one, or a squirrel.
I mean, no, it could be.
Yeah, of course it could be.
What else? And when did it start this year? When? Just one day
About
it just
January.
started shutting down?
Correct. Yeah, I woke up to no heat in my home when it was like snowing out.
Now, you mentioned, not to get off track, but you mentioned something about Richmond not being good with warranty issues in general?
Correct.
You mean, like, have you had any issues that have not been fixed other than the furnace?
No, I've called them and I've finally, I mean, it just took like maybe a week of calls and voicemails and then asking for supervisors.
You're just kind of
but
frustrated is what you're saying. Hold on a second. Let's talk to Marion. Marion has a comment. I'm amazed at the comments we're getting on this. Go ahead, Marion.
We just had Fix It 24/7 fix our furnace, and Chris was awesome. He had it fixed within a couple of hours.
What was your
Needed
issue?
A new motor.
The motor.
Ours was the motor. It started, and we just had it, had it put in, and they came right out, and no problem. Had fixed it. Said he didn't have the motor. He'd be back in about an hour, and boy was he. And
Well,
he had
that's
it
good to
fixed.
know, Marion. Thank you for that good report on Fix It 24/7. And Anna, of course, she said, look, they're doing their best. They tried to replace the components, and we're not saying they didn't, but I'm wondering if they looked at things outside of the furnace itself, because it sounds to me like it's got to be something else. I mean, if it's not the furnace itself, it's got to be something else. This one's happened to us with the refrigerator. It was a voltage problem with the refrigerator, and it was causing big problems. Then we had another one, and it wasn't the one we had yesterday, but it had hard water, which was screwing up the refrigerator for the ice maker. The one from yesterday on that ice maker, we haven't had Paul examine that yet, but he is. He's going to test the water because the manufacturer said, we're not fixing it anymore. It's not the refrigerator, it's your water supply. So there are any number of things that can happen. Larson Tax Relief, what happens if you get notice that you did not file taxes and you know you did? Do you just resubmit it, the one your copy? Everyone should have a copy, right?
Yeah, if you get a copy, you can literally, with that notice, just send your return back with it to the address on the notice. And
Does
they'll
that
process
often
that through.
happen? Do they ever lose returns?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not perfect, I guess.
8 million unfiled returns sitting in a truck somewhere outside of California.
Oh, my
right
God.
now.
Now, Bob Logan, will he be ready to come on, or can I take a break? Can I take a break? I will, and if he can hold, it would be great. 303-713-8255.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password, for you to become a victim. LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Hey, when we talk about restoration, it means so many things. When your property has an emergency like a fire, a flood, a broken pipe, asbestos, black mold, any number of things that can happen, lead, you don't want just anyone in your home. You want American Restoration 24/7. We've heard the nightmares of insurance companies sending out someone quick and dirty to get it over with. And your insurance will pay them once, and that's it. You're stuck with the mess. You need the right company up front, and you get to choose them, not your insurance company. And I recommend American Restoration 24/7. 833-7AM-REST. 833-7AM-REST. Or online, you can find them at amrest247.com. Hey, let's talk about selling jewelry. 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek, David Ellis Jewelry. Now, way safer than going through Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or any online place, TikTok. Seriously, there are people advertising to buy your jewelry. You'd be crazy to meet them. Go to a legitimate jewelry store. He'll give you top dollar for your antiques and estate jewelry and all of that. And for the junk, the twisted messes, the mismatched earrings and all of that, he'll weigh it and pay it. Do it. Do yourself a favor. Get someone dependable. And that's David Ellis Jewelry, 3rd and Clayton. Look for the black awning, 303-322-8779.
Are you considering an electric or
I got a lot of work to do on the Sleeves Brigade. I have so many entries.
Suzanne was talking to Bonnie. They just booked we've been looking at a cruise for our honeymoon in September. They just booked the same brand we were looking at, Avalon Waterways. It's really nice stuff.
I'll never go on a cruise. Never in a fucking million.
It's not. I went on
cruises. I fucking hate cruises. I hate everything about them. It's a cruise.
It's not a It's
You're on a boat with fucking strangers.
It's a riverboat.
Oh, I like riverboats.
Yeah. And your room is like
I like that.
The one we're looking at, there's a total.
You're right.
There's a total of 34 fucking people.
I know. You're right. No, Mark. I totally mean that. I've always wanted to do that. Also, you eat a lot at restaurants.
They're real restaurants.
Like they park.
Yeah, of course.
So
every day.
Here's the deal.
It's not. I don't even like the word cruise, I guess, because I'll never do like a carnival.
Oh my God.
We did that shit with the kids when they were younger.
No.
I
went on a cruise.
I did it last month.
I never felt so disgusted in my life.
Nope. I'm so done. I told you I was going on that thing. It was the disaster.
Our honeymoon cruise.
I was tempted on some of these like theme cruise, like rock and roll cruise or something, but then I thought you can't escape it.
It's such a people mover. It's such a disaster.
Hey, how about a political cruise? Oh.
Oh my God.
No, they have them.
You can hear Paul Ryan talk.
Oh God. I'm surprised nobody gets tossed
Special
off.
guest star Donald Trump will be flying in on his helicopter.
Man overboard.
Jesus, can you imagine a political
or
cruise?
cosmetic surgery cruise? You have your procedures and you rest.
A CNN cruise or a Fox News cruise?
Hey,
oh shit, you would.
So Mark,
you'd have people jumping overboard.
Are you guys in town? Because I forgot.
In town when?
The end of June through 4th of July, I'm sure all that.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, because that's my Europe trip. But here's the deal: my passport expired.
Is it on there? Is it on your calendar?
No, I'm going to, but I wanted to check with you guys first. My passport expired,
on there, get on
and
there.
I don't think I can get one in time. That State Department, you can't make a fucking appointment.
Do the thing.
They give you a number.
Do the fast pass thing. I got mine in 2 weeks.
Where?
It's like it goes through FedEx.
I'll go anywhere. Where do I go?
It'll cost you $400.
I don't give a shit. Where?
Look at it. It's like
make an appointment right down off of 225.
Mark, you can't make an appointment.
You can't do it.
I'll make it.
Okay, you can't. Okay, try. You can't make an appointment online, and when you call the number, there's no option to make an appointment. Not one fucking option. And everywhere you look, please tell me you can make me an appointment.
Look it up on FedEx.
Now, would you tell me, please, how to do it? I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I need a passport.
Rush my passport.
Calm down. Let's take deep breaths.
My girlfriend had to do the expedited one. I think she got it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
The passport office.
But you can't get an appointment.
Yeah. No, she had to mail her old one in.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, one of our esteemed guests, and I use that term loosely. No, I'm just kidding. Bob Logan is an esteemed guest. He's a great guy, one of the owners at Plumline Services. Hi, Bob.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good, and truly, look, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but Anna has a furnace issue. And she called a reputable company who replaced almost every component, she said. And the furnace does this. It quits suddenly and goes into a lockout mode. Now, Anna, do you have invoices, or can you tell us really what they replaced in that furnace? It's a Goodman furnace. Like, for example, when you say all the major components, what are you talking about?
Sure. So they replaced the motor with the 3 switches. They've replaced the gas valve, the circuit board. I think it's called the blower fan.
So they replaced all the major components.
The transformer. Yeah. I mean, they told me that there was no parts left to replace inside.
Now, it still goes into a lockout mode.
Correct.
And how
It'll
does it
run
get
for
running again?
I have to manually go switch it off and on for about 3 or 4 times, and I have to do like an hour break in between each time.
Bob, what does that
but
sound like to you, sir? Now, you yourself are not an expert at that, right? Or I don't think you are, but you have experts there. Have you guys encountered this kind of thing? I was thinking maybe an electrical supply or a gas supply issue or maybe an air supply issue. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a number of different things, Tom. It could be an air supply issue. It could be high heat overload.
Can that be from like a blockage somewhere?
Correct. So when did she get the furnace serviced?
It's a 2-year-old furnace. She got it with the home. And when was it When was it serviced last, Anna?
About a year ago.
And when did it quit
it was
last?
Just cleaned. I mean, I never had issues with it.
After it was serviced a year ago, when did it quit after that?
Like a year and a half, maybe.
No. What I mean is.
I mean, it was running great.
Wait a minute. So they fixed it.
Well, so I mean, I'm sorry. You're saying service as in this time that?
No.
It
Here's
failed?
what I'm asking, Anna. Are you still having trouble?
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
Okay. This past winter, you had trouble.
Yes, starting January, and I had them out like once a week since then.
Okay, so it's been looked at this as recently as this past January.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Up until March.
When was the last part replaced?
The transformer was replaced, I want to say about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so Bob, what do you make of this?
Well, first of all, and I apologize, Tom. I'm actually in Europe right now, but
I don't like you anymore. What are you doing in Europe?
Well, I'm actually I happen to be here with my carrier representative.
Oh, don't tell me it's a business trip, you creep.
But anyways, so it could be a high limit switch, which is sometimes caused by a blockage. The furnace is overheating. I don't know. Do they have lots of dogs or pets or hairy dogs that might be blocking the air?
Now you're talking about blocking the air in or blocking the air out?
The supply, yeah, the coil. So it could be a number of things. But if I heard Anna right, she said the furnace is only 2 years old.
Right.
And they had all the components changed just a year ago.
Or actually right up until a month ago.
I mean, see, this
so they
is the thing that
started
bothers
replacing the parts.
Any reputable company would come in and just replace that furnace. They wouldn't start. I mean, think about.
Oh, but remember this, Bob. I should mention this. The company that was servicing it was doing it under warranty, and they want to replace it. But the warranty company or Goodman won't do it. Goodman says all they do is parts. And they replaced all the parts, and it's a Richmond home, so it wasn't like she bought it from a company. She bought
it's OEM.
It's OEM for the Richmond home.
I understand that, and that's what I love about working with Carrier and Low Miller. They wouldn't even mess with that. They would say, you know what, take the furnace out, put a brand new furnace in. We will take care of the client, and whether or not our vendors do it is regardless. We stand behind everything that we do. So it bothers me when companies go in and say, well, the manufacturer is not going to take care of this, so we can only replace parts. They should just pull that thing out and give her a brand new furnace and air conditioner if that's necessary, and just take care of her because.
Well, that's what Richmond Home should do. That's what Richmond Home should do. She bought the house from them, and these other companies are just trying to fix it.
Richmond should force the vendor, whoever the installer is, and the manufacturer. Now they probably have a a national deal with Goodman, but they should.
You know what?
Goodman
That's a good idea. I'm going to have Deputy Dollar call over there to Richmond Homes because we should lean on Richmond. But your gut feeling is it could be anything, but you're talking about the same thing I did. Once you change components, then you look outside the furnace. Because, Bob, you know, if they replace the furnace and it still happens, wouldn't that be terrible?
Well, it would, and you have a whole other different set of issues. Maybe it's the ductwork, the design. It could be whoever designed the HVAC system.
Right.
There could be a number of different reasons, but there is no reason within a couple of years, even if the homeowner doesn't maintain it, even if they have pets, even if they don't change their filters, there's no reason.
You know, we should get a fresh set of eyes out there. I'm going to have her call you guys for a fresh set of eyes. Really?
That's fine, Tom. I won't charge for the service call. We'll go out there. We'll take a look at it. We'll give a
Who should she ask for, Bob?
Have her. Let her just know that we were on the show together.
Okay.
I will send a text message to my dispatch team and the service
Good.
managers, my operations
Okay.
manager, Matt. Matt.
Okay, her name is Anna, so that's what we'll do. Bob, where in Europe are you?
Right now I'm in Vienna, Austria.
See, I hate you even more. This is amazing. He's going there on a business trip. Wow. I wonder if I can get a business trip out of that. Maybe.
Well,
Tell Carrier I want to meet with him in Switzerland.
We'll have to talk.
And see if they'll meet with me. Thank you, Bob Logan with Plumline Services. Now, here's what I want you to do, Anna. I want you to call over there to Plumline. He's going to text message. Say, I'm the one that Bob Logan, he's the boss, the one Bob Logan texted about. And he was on the show with me, with Tom Martino. And he said he would send someone out to look this over for a fresh set of eyes, no charge. Okay? Seriously, because we need to get to the bottom of this. And sometimes it just takes a fresh set of eyes we don't know, but I want you to stay in touch with us on it, okay? It's
Okay, so what was the company name again? I'm sorry?
Plumline Services. Plumline.
Services.
Yep, and here's the number, 303.
Oh, sorry, if you'll give me just 1 second, I'll write it down here.
Okay. And tell me when you're ready.
Okay, what was the number?
303 586 1086.
1086. And Bob Logan?
Yeah, tell him that you talked. Don't ask. Bob's in Europe, but you said you talked to Bob on my show, and he said he would send someone out to look at this because there's a stubborn problem no one can track down. And then they'll send someone out, and I want you to call me back and let me know what happened. Dan's got a comment, too. He's been listening. Go ahead, Dan. What's your comment?
Well, I was wondering if that was a high-altitude, high-efficiency furnace. And if it was, mine had the same problem. So the guy told me I either had to put a high-altitude pressure switch in it or bigger pipes for air and exhaust.
And you know what? That makes sense, Dan, because someone else called and pretty much said the same thing. Not about the switch, but about making bigger pipes and bigger air access. So
yeah, up here in this altitude, they all need that high altitude pressure switch or bigger pipes.
Well, thank you very much for that information. That lends some a new light on that as well. 303-713-8255. By the way, Denver Regenerative Medicine did my stem cell therapy. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. It was 2 weeks ago. I'm not feeling anything yet. Not feeling worse, of course, but they filled it with my own stem cells that they have extracted from me. What I loved about the procedure, they're very, very professional. It's a wonderful clinic. You can talk to a stem cell doc directly, okay? All you have to do is make an appointment through this number, and they will talk to you and answer all of your questions. DenverRegen.com, 833-STEM-GEN, 833-STEM-GEN.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
My place in Fraser had the same thing happen, but the reason why it was happening is because the pipe was freezing as condensate was going outside. So it would freeze, and then it would back up.
It clogged up that whole
pressure.
There was enough ice in there to clog that up.
Full thing. And so then I had to basically reroute the condensate to go down through my washer and dryer. Yeah. 3.
How old?
9, 11, and 13.
Oh, that's pretty nice age.
Yeah.
They're starting to get difficult.
They still like me, but the 13-year-old,
They still like
he's
Well,
hiding
if
in
it's a
his room a
girl,
lot.
if it's a girl, they're going to start disliking you at 14.
The girl is the youngest, so I can hold
She
up.
still likes daddy.
Yeah. But yeah, so I had to. They came in like they replaced the pressure switches. Like this is high altitude issue, whatever. And I was like, it's still popping off, but I could see it was frozen because it was just shooting straight outside of Fraser, freaking Colorado. Of course, it's gonna freeze. It's just the builder made in air. Like, yeah, you can't just have condensate go outside in a negative 20 degrees. And so I just had I have a pump now that just takes the condensate, it shoots it down into the main, and then I haven't had a problem since.
Have you got? Oh. Zero Res Denver. I love talking about them. Really, and I'm serious, the only carpet cleaning company I'll have at my home because of their empowered water, no soap, no chemicals, no emulsifiers. I was just talking to Steve here. He has kids. I have kids. You want it safe for kids, safe for animals. You don't want residue. You want it to dry, get clean faster, stay dry, get dry. It dries faster, and stays clean because it doesn't have that residue. Zero Res Denver always has great deals on their carpet cleaning. And also, they do tile and grout. They do upholstery. They do draperies. They do any kind of cleaning, including ductwork. It's a great cleaning company to have with nothing dangerous, just pure clean. 303-471-5150, ZeroResDenver.com. Actually have a free afternoon, I think.
Oh, God bless you.
So has the business come back from where it was before COVID?
Yeah, I think we're back to kind of full go, and we're all essentially remote now, so it makes.
Oh,
it,
really?
Yeah, it makes it.
Have they cut down on real estate?
Yeah, we still have an office that I still go into because it's so close to my house.
But it's not big.
But yeah, it's probably a tenth of the size that it used to be. We used to have 100 people in there.
You're in the same location and drop down.
Yeah,
so all the people are remote.
100 people. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, they still probably do, right?
No, we got rid of most of the marketing guys.
Oh.
So now it's all intake. It's no more of this sort of like cold calling on leads and stuff. It's all just intake from like web-based marketing and things.
But so you have a phone system that's virtual that sends calls to your employees.
Yeah.
And you can tell when they're online.
Oh yeah, we can track all that. How many calls they make, how many voice messages they get, if they drop calls. It's
and
actually
where's Plantenga?
He's in Tennessee.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he works in Tennessee now.
And he still works for you.
Yeah, yeah.
How cool! So
it's crazy. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, so there's only locally now of all these. I think of the 12 associates, there's only like 4 that are actually local anymore, and I'm the only one that goes into the office just because I need to get away from my.
So you're literally the only one there.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do we even have an office?
I don't know.
I mean,
to be honest with you, I don't think we need it anymore. We recently got rid of. So there's a big server.
You Zoom if you had to meet.
I'm working right now here as if I would be there, except for I've only got one screen. Because everything is now just cloud-based. It's actually really cool. But we have a server room there.
But when you meet with clients, it's on the phone.
It's always on the phone. All of my hearings are telephonic for the IRS. All of my appeals, everything is telephonic anymore, or Zoom. And I just try not to do Zoom because a lot of times I'm like looking at notes and stuff.
Really changed the world for everyone.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. I used to have for my law firm. I used to pay like $1,000 a month for just my billing software. And it was on a server in some like brick and mortar, and I just pulled off of it, and I'm paying $130 a month for the same exact thing that I can access from my cell phone. Just like didn't exist before the pandemic, but then they just people figured out they can do it online, and it makes life a lot easier. It's super mobile. Then I can go to Fraser and work when I'm up there and all that stuff. It's really nice. As long as the heater's working. That's terrifying up there. It's so freaking cold when that thing kicked out on me. It's like I'm not losing my pipes.
Look. That's my house.
Right, no, I've been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sat next
I
to you.
want you to see it. So,
yeah.
So that's
freaking
awesome.
awesome.
You know why I'm not there now?
I actually texted Susan like, which location am I going to?
Yeah. And you know what? I prefer this.
Oh, so much.
But I have work work being done behind that studio. Okay. I'm putting in a recording studio.
Oh, I saw you.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay, so when it comes to taxes, the good news is, we were just talking about this off the air, you can meet with Larson Tax Relief telephonically. You don't have to go into any office. You don't have to worry about documents. Everything can be done online in the cloud, right?
Yeah, everything right now with the IRS.
Even with the IRS.
Yeah, it's all telephonic. It's they still use fax machines, so we have
Are you
electronic
kidding
fax
me?
machines and things. But I rarely have an officer show up to the office anymore. We do still have an office, but it's rarely used. I'm just there to get away and get some peace of mind most of the time. But you can be in Alaska, you can be in Hawaii, you could be in Texas, or you could be Westminster, Colorado. We can take your case.
Anyway, let's talk to Marcia. Is it Marcia?
Yes.
Hi. What's happening, Marcia?
I cannot get a refund from a company, and it owes me $2,000.
Now, hold on. Tell me why they owe you $2,000. Tell me the story.
Okay, I'm not on air, right?
Oh, yeah, you are. Hold on. Hey, Kachina, she wanted to know if she's on air. That's the only way we can handle it and the only way we're going to get her help. So she can come on if she wants. If not, what's that? I know she knows, but she said I'm not. I just want to make sure that she's cool with that because I don't want to. Okay, good. Okay, Marcia, so there you go. Now, how did you, this is a plumber, is that right?
Right. The name of the plumber is Cheaper Rooter, Rooter.
Oh, my goodness, Cheaper Rooter. And why did you hire Cheaper Rooter?
Recommended by a neighbor. He'd been out here for...
Yeah, but for what reason? Did you have a backup? What happened?
I wanted to change my bathtub into a walk-in shower.
Oh my God, you should, okay. By the way, this is a side note, but I have to tell you this. Renew Home Innovations does the best job in the world for that, the best. And they take out that old tub and they make it a beautiful walk-in shower without a curb. You can walk right through. If you had a walker or wheelchair, you can get right through. They can put anything you need in there, customized totally in 2 or 3 days with 72 months to pay no interest. I'm serious. I don't mean to make this a commercial, but the reason I'm saying this is because that's that's a specialty, and I don't understand how a guy named Cheaper Rooter could do that, but that's okay. RenewHomeInnovations.com, by the way, 303-904-2000. I just want to let people know, 303-904-2000. Now, this guy said he would do it. Here's what I need to know.
That's that other company?
What's that, dear?
The number you gave me was at the other company?
Yeah, 904-2000. Yep. They're great.
Okay, just a minute. 904
2000.
303.
Yep. And they'll come out and get
3,000 or 2,000?
It's 2000. 904-2000.
I'm sorry. I'm old. I don't hear well.
Okay. I'll give it to you again. Ready? No, I'll give it to you again.
I got it.
Okay, 303-904-2000.
904-2000.
Yeah,
okay,
and I want to say something. He has special discounts for senior citizens as well. I'm really serious.
I may call that person. I'm in no hurry for that. The point is that I had paid Cheaper Rooter, and the name of the owner is Mike Medina.
Okay, so hold on. How much did you pay Mike Medina?
$3,200.
And you got nothing in return?
And no receipt. And that was.
How did you pay him?
Supposedly, by check.
Oh, good. Okay. How long ago did you pay him?
January. I just wrote it down, so I just talked to my bank. January 1st, check number 1530. And
January 1st. Okay, January 1st, and you never heard from him after that.
No, wait. Let me finish my story.
Okay.
And so then that was supposedly half of it, and I told them I'd pay the other half after it was done. So then they came out, but there were a number of what's the word I want? Things that happened that had to be postponed.
Okay.
The owner was in the hospital for a little while.
Did he start any work at all?
Anyway.
Did he start any work at all?
No. And so then I canceled.
So how, okay, the job was never started, so you don't have a mess there, right?
Right. I do not. What I don't have is in the meantime, then he put in a kitchen sink for me, which I had ordered two things, the shower and the kitchen sink. I got the information on the kitchen sink. It was about $1,200. And so I subtracted that in my mind from the check of $3,200.
Right.
So he owes me about $2,000.
I got it.
I can't reach him because he blocks my calls. I do have an address. I'm on a walker, and I'm 83 years old. So I've got a couple of problems here, and I just need someone to tell me what to do to get my money.
We're going to help you. We're going to help you, so you don't have to do anything. We're going to try to call this guy and scare the hell out of him.
That would be wonderful. I'm going to start crying.
Hey, listen, Marcia.
Sorry.
Did you ever ask your friend about him, the one that recommended him?
Oh, yeah, several people in the neighborhood have had him. I even had him.
So why did he go bad? What do you think happened?
I do not know. I think he's short of money. That's what I think.
Oh my gosh!
I think he needed.
You should never pay money up front except under very rare circumstances and a certain process.
So my brother-in-law has told me that 3 times now. I know. I'm stupid.
Now, do you have a phone number for this guy?
Yes. Let's see if I can get to it here.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I'm on a cell phone, so just a minute.
That's
Let me see
okay.
if I can do it.
That's okay. This is terrible. I just can't stand when people. I can't stand when people do this to people. I just can't. I can't stand it.
Okay, the number. Well, I was told to call you. I had called Better Business Bureau. They don't do anything. They just take the information.
That's exactly right. They don't do anything. They're dinosaurs.
So.
No offense, by the way, Marcia. We're all old.
Okay. Here's the phone number for Cheaper Router. 303
Hold on.
249 6558.
6558. I want to call this clown. I do. I want to call.
Yeah, I can't reach him anymore because he's, like I said, he's blocked my phone number.
Dollar, do you mind calling him right now? Hold on. I'm gonna give him to somebody to work with you. Listen, when you call back, Marcia, and Kachina Kelly here, who answered the phone, she's going to give you a number you can call back to check on this. We're also going to get your number, and we're going to have you work with someone we call a nickname Deputy Dollar. You'll work with him. I know, it's funny.
Okay.
I'm glad you still have your sense of humor, dear. And I want you to know that Nick over at Renew Home Innovations will take very good care of you. You tell him I told him that. He really, really will. And he will do such a beautiful job for you. So you figure that he owes you about $2,000, and we have ways to put the pressure on this guy. So you hang on. Deputy Dollar will talk to you. Shut up.
I can get home. When you going on this riverboat tour, Mark?
We haven't booked it yet. It would be September.
You do like Germany, or what do you?
No,
think?
we've been looking at actually. We would fly into Bali.
Oh boy.
Wait. These riverboats are in another country?
They're all over the world.
You could do it down the Mississippi if you want.
Yeah.
But that may not be as cool, would it?
Bali sounds pretty sweet.
Bali's unbelievable.
Yeah. Jeez. So it would go what, like Laos, Vietnam, kind of, or just stay up? Yeah.
3 countries.
Sweet. If you do, let me know.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
What's it cost?
Oh,
hold on. The best water heater deals anywhere. You know what I'm going to say. EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Man, I'm telling you, you will get a 40-gallon tank fully replaced with the old one taken away, new supply lines for the water and gas, and you know what that costs you? Just $12.99. If you want a 50-gallon tank, it's $13.99. You can upgrade to whatever size you want, and he'll beat any price. That's what he tells us. And you know what? He does it. So don't even try to do it yourself. 303-668-6844, 668-6844, EuroPlumbingColorado.net. Let's also talk about the Art of Granite, which does wholesale on all countertop material, whether it's granite or marble or any material, right? So that's wholesale. He can do engineered stone or he can do man-made stone, any solid surface. Now, here's the deal. He tears out and hauls away free. He does the bathroom vanity free when you have the kitchen done. He'll give you prices on the phone. That's how proud he is of what he does. You are just charged for fabrication and installation. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. theartofgranite.com. Safe investments in writing. Guaranteed not to lose a dime. Guaranteed to have a certain return. Guaranteed to give you income for life. No, it's not impossible. It's the real deal. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600. BecomeTheBanker.org. I've been dealing with Joe for many, many years, and so many people are elated with the products. Find out how to get out of the volatility of the stock market. BecomeTheBanker.org.
Bear, come out here for a minute.
Okay.
I was going to send the audio to the man, okay?
What man?
Who got the letter.
Okay,
who
that's
I just
fine.
talked about.
Yeah, but you know what? He should fucking stay out of it because...
I know he should, but that's why I'm asking you about it first.
Yeah, and you should have thought... Yeah.
Okay. Well, I left off I didn't know. Because I didn't know. So, we'll talk about it afterwards. It's stupid.
I'm going to talk to him, okay, after the show.
That's a good idea.
Because, and you come with me.
I will.
So you know what I tell him.
Yeah, of course. I already know, but you're going to do it better.
I've handled everything from day one.
Yeah.
And never lost. Ever.
I know. And I'm going to send, I'll send
And thank God my attorney is back from his sabbatical. The best ever. Jim, You remember, Jim.
But it's so perfect.
But you took a lot of the call, too, didn't you?
It would be...
I know you did a whole segment on it. Or
yeah, about 10, 15, but...
Yeah.
It was, I'm telling you, man, it's so perfect. In fact, it's perfect. I don't know what else to say.
So they want me to call to negotiate?
I don't know. I haven't read that letter in 6 months.
Yeah,
it's the dumbest thing I ever read. We'd be insane to do that.
Right. There's nothing to call. First of all, what do they have? What did they lose? What did they lose?
What's that?
What did they lose?
Nothing. Maybe the
She's
person they kicked out.
She's just fucking angry.
Yeah, she is. Remember at first when we called up off air, we set it up, they were going to come on the next day, everything.
Those some nuggets right there.
Oh, I do that all the... No, I don't.
So I talked to this contractor, and
He's what?
he's been sick, and he's really trying to resolve this.
He's a nice guy.
And he said, I've got a check we're trying to get back to Marcia. He said, I thought it was taken care of.
Good, man.
But
Good. Good.
He's good.
Okay, hold on. Hi, Tom Martino here. Oh, I'm sorry. Marcia's not there. I was going to get back to her. But anyway, Oliver, you have a comment on taxes. Go ahead, Oliver. What's happening?
Since it's tax day, and I don't know if your guy's still there.
He's here. Yes, he is.
Talking to.
Yes, he is.
And something off the wall here. Why can't we go to a consumption tax? Why do we have to fill out tax returns every year?
You know, that's more of a political question than one for him. He's more of a technical guy. But I agree with you, Oliver, that something can be made more simple. I absolutely agree with you.
Half the people can't even fill the darn thing out themselves. They've got to hire some guy like your guest there.
No, my guest here is only for people in trouble.
Hopefully not.
I mean, our founding fathers didn't want it to be that way. This is nuts. And everybody's pulling their hair out trying to get some kind of deduction to try to save this, try to save that. It's crazy.
You know, a consumption tax, they say, would be oppressive on lower income people. So here's what we could...
I disagree with that.
But here's what we could do. We could niche out a certain number of a certain level of low income that won't have to do it, and just do it for a certain level up, maybe, or
I agree.
Or a certain level of consumption. In other words, you don't pay on the first whatever of consumption, and you don't pay consumption tax on food or stuff like that, but you pay consumption tax on everything else. I would agree with that.
Exactly.
So California, listen to this, man. Electricity now is going to be based on what you pay for electrical power is going to be based on income.
Oh, hold on. Listen to this one.
I have never
Oliver,
heard that before.
Listen to this one. When you go to get a loan now, the higher the credit, the more you pay in interest. You're surcharged interest to subsidize people who have bad credit.
Crazy.
Right now. That's done right now.
That's insane.
Yep, that is something else. You know, the world is, honest to God, going upside down. It really, really is. How long will this last before people get pissed off? I mean, I'm talking about all people, not just conservatives, not just liberals. Isn't there a point at which we both say, come on? God, Patty, what is your question? Hi, Patty.
Oh, hey, Tom. How are you?
Good. What is your question about HUD?
Well, I live in HUD housing, but I guess it's been contracted by CHAFTA, Colorado Housing and Finances.
Yes.
And I would like to know the liability of the owner. I've been told this is a private place, and so the city doesn't really have anything to do with this.
Right. It is private. It is private. But in order to be subsidized, they have to have certain HUD standards. Tell me what the problem is first. That's the part we need to know.
Okay, because it's kind of a two-parter. On March 19th at 6:06 in the morning, my gas tank got stabbed.
Your gas tank?
Our cameras. Yeah, my gas tank on my car.
Well, what does that have to do with the housing development?
Because it was in their parking lot.
Well, it's not their responsibility. No landlord in the world is responsible for a vehicle unless they contribute to it.
Okay, I understand. Okay, that I understand. They have cameras, but they do not work. And my neighbor actually watched it. He watched the whole 10 minutes of it.
Patty, if the whole premise, hold on, Patty, if the whole premise is you want them to help you because you were criminalized in that parking lot, it's not going to happen. Okay, if that's your whole premise of the call, if you were talking about substandard housing and stuff like that, that's different. I'm not trying to shut you down. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. You're going to go nowhere trying to prove that the landlord was negligent and therefore your car was vandalized. You're going to go nowhere. If I hadn't seen it 50 other times, I wouldn't tell you that. But I don't want to waste your time. You're not going to get a landlord to be responsible unless they contributed to it, like they did it, or their general manager did it, or they called one of their friends to do it because they know that certain people have certain things they can steal. All I'm saying is it's a waste of time. I'm not, again, you're not going to get them to pay for it. How much are your repairs?
Oh, it's already repaired. It was $330. I actually went panhandling. I went panhandling for that.
Well, I'm sorry you had to do that, Patty, and I will say that insurance covers that as well. Anyway, we're out of time. I just wanted to 844-LARSON-TAX or LarsonTaxRelief.com, and that's LARSON. Save all your problems for me.
Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Want to kick back with your favourite British TV? Escape with Britain's best series, only on BritBox. Don't miss new and exclusive releases, including BritBox original drama Stonehouse, starring Succession's Matthew McFadden.
It's Stonehouse, John Stonehouse.
Follow the unbelievable true story of the British politician who faked his own death.
I deny those allegations in the strongest possible terms.
Succession's Matthew McFadden stars in BritBox's new original drama, Stonehouse. Stream this and more at BritBox.com.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
Here's my problem.
United we stand.
Completely agree with your sentiments.
Divided we call.
He talks about we're divided. Well, yeah, we are. And we need to wake up as a country and realize what's going on.
The best comment section you've ever heard.
There need to be term limits. The biggest problem is career politicians totally nailed it. I'm just tired of taking the lesser of two evils.
Denver's talk station.
We're not going to let them shut us up.